All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. Padres home opener tomorrow afternoon, 1:10 first pitch. Yu Darvish the mound for the Padres against Logan Webb for the Giants. And the Aztecs will follow that game as they take on UConn in a rematch of last year's national championship game in the Sweet 16 with the chance to move on to the Elite 8 for back-to-back years. Our pregame show starts at 4 p.m. 4:39 tip-off. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/printbig for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim. We are bi-coastal on this Wednesday afternoon. I am in Boston. Jim is in San Diego, which means, Jim, I don't know if you understood, like if you get this. It's actually 6 p.m. where I am.
Oh.
And I want to say it's 3 p.m. where you are.
I didn't understand basic, time zones.
Do you think Jim
that's how it's
graduated high
gonna
school
be.
without understanding time zones?
Right. So
I'm not
anyway,
that stupid.
it's evening here in Boston. It's the afternoon in San Diego. We're with you for the next 3 hours. Of course, we're getting you ready for the Sweet 16 from TD Garden tomorrow. As Jim just said, 4:39 with pregame coverage at 4 p.m. Of course, we're getting you ready for the Padres opener, the home opener tomorrow against the Giants as well. I want to start with this, Jim, because obviously it's been a whirlwind from Spokane to San Diego to Boston. So you know me, and we've been texting back and forth on like a three-way chat, right, with J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's AD.
Yes.
So I'm out to dinner last night in Boston with some people from San Diego State's administration. And, is it that dumb of me?
Yes.
So everyone's like, everyone's ordering one drink. I mean, everyone's been traveling. Nobody's doing anything crazy. They're just ordering a drink. You order a glass of wine. I'm like, am I supposed to order a beer? Should I order a glass of wine? And I asked the waitress if they have any kombucha.
Oh.
She looked at me like I had three heads. Is that dumb of a question? And I guess it is. I guess to ask that question in Boston, we're not in San Diego anymore, because when I said it, she was like, what are you even talking about?
Dude.
So anyway, long story short, I ended up ordering. I was kind of peer pressured into Sam Adams. I'm like, I don't think I like Sam Adams.
Sam Adams.
But it ended up being great.
Well, yeah, because it's the lightest beer out there, and it's like water.
Did you just tell her, yeah, I'm from California? She would have been like, oh,
I
okay.
get it.
Yeah,
I get
eventually. But I feel like every time I go anywhere, this happens. Jim, that one time at Buena Forchetta told me to order a margarita, but he meant margarita pizza, and I asked for a margarita, and they're like, we don't have margaritas. We're an Italian restaurant. I'm like, Jim, you idiot. And you're like, no, you're the idiot.
Yeah.
And then I go to Boston. I didn't know what to say. I don't know what kind of wine I like. I don't know what kind of beer I'm supposed to order.
You're supposed to
order.
order
So I say kombucha, and they look like I'm an idiot.
Like a Guinness. I'll take a Guinness. Or something like that. I don't know.
I don't drink Guinness. That stuff is so dark.
Yeah, I'd drink a Sam Adams over a Guinness.
That's true. It's true. But yeah, I don't blame the waitress or the waiter at all for giving you the weirdest look ever and making you feel embarrassed in front of the entire San Diego State administration department.
Right. I'm with the traveling part. But would it be weird if someone from Boston came to California and asked for Sam Adams, they wouldn't look at you like you're crazy. So why is it crazy if you're from California and you go to Boston, you ask for kombucha?
Do we need to answer that, Brent?
She totally went back in the kitchen and made fun of you. It's
you should
hear what this dude out there asked for.
Yeah. Honestly, there was no way to recover from it. And even then she's like, oh, do you want the seasonal Sam Adams or I'm like, I don't know. Just bring something. I'm embarrassed enough.
And put an umbrella in it.
Well, I also heard
that's what happened.
That you're eating, what you ordered was also very on brand for you as well.
Here's the thing. I ordered fish tacos.
Did you bring an apple?
No, I ordered fish tacos, but they came on it was a lettuce wrap. I didn't order the lettuce wrap.
Are you sure about that?
A lettuce. I'm telling you, I did not order the lettuce.
So I'm with you
but
on
it
that.
Came out as lettuce.
Wendy's does it all the time because I won't eat the buns half the time because I'm on Atkins. If I go and get a Baconator and I say I don't want a bun, they will put it on wrap it in lettuce. It's I didn't ask you to do that. They just do it. So I feel with you on that.
Okay.
So
anyway,
real quick, I bet you that as soon as you ask for that kombucha, and then you ordered the fish tacos, they're like, this dude would probably love a lettuce wrap, right? He just looks like a guy that likes a lettuce wrap with kombucha. So that's probably why they did it, because they saw, or they, you ordered the kombucha, they completely made fun of you, and they saw that, hey, this guy probably likes lettuce wraps. So that's probably why you got a lettuce wrap, John.
Yeah, but I feel like I can't win a lot because a lot of times I order a drink and it comes out like pink. Even when everyone else's drink is like, looks manly and like cool, and mine is pink. And then I go to a restaurant, like everyone's ordering like a steak, and I order a salad, and it comes out like looking ridiculous. And even fish tacos I thought was completely normal, and then it comes out with a lettuce wrap.
I understand what you're going through, because I went out to dinner with some friends. Me and Aaron went out to dinner on Friday night to a place called Inside Out. Have you heard of that place before? It's like,
I think it's a burger joint.
No, it's not a burger joint. It's like in the middle of like an apartment building in Hillcrest. It's fantastic. And everyone's like ordering at the table like wine, and Aaron orders a dirty martini, and I order this drink off the menu, and I had no idea what it was, but it sounded good, right? They bring it to me. It's in like a martini glass. It's like bright pink, and there's a giant bright pink flower in it. So yeah, I understand what you
sympathize.
Yeah, I sympathize.
All right, so we're 24 hours out. San Diego State practice inside TD Garden today. A lot of it feels like deja vu all over again, to quote Yogi Berra, where you've gone through a tough opening round game like they did a year ago. Then they got a Cinderella in round 2 and blew the doors off them. Then you get the top seed in the overall tournament. I would say the difference this time around is like, man, there's something about Boston where you're in like a basketball capital. Like you look at the banners in the building, Jim, and there's like dozens of them. I mean, you got the Celtics banners, you have the Bruins banners. It's got this big city feel. Like a year ago, you're in Louisville, you got this college basketball mecca at the KFC Yum Center where Louisville plays. And this time around, it just feels like the stakes are even raised higher. And we said this earlier this week, how many times in life do you get a second chance at anything? Now, I get it, different teams, different circumstances, Sweet 16 as opposed to a national championship game. Both of the teams are different. We know it. Matt Bradley, Nathan Mensick goes on and on. Same thing, Sanogo, Hawkins to the NBA. But, can you ask for anything more? I heard Lamont Butler today, Darion Trammell, Jaden Ledee. And just to have this opportunity again, I mean, what are the odds, even with the high expectations, even with getting to a national championship game? What are the odds you get the University of Connecticut again in 2024? It's not easy, understood. I didn't think Alabama was going to be easy. You could argue this is harder than Alabama was a year ago. But to get another crack in college athletics, when you have 363 Division I teams, you can't ask for more than that. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think you can ask for.
This is what you wanted. You wanted the rematch. You get the rematch. It's going to be tougher than last year to get through this round versus the number 1 overall seed than it is this year. I think we discussed it yesterday. Like the feeling going into this game, it's different than last year, because last year you had this vibe of like, okay, something's off with Alabama, right? Something was off there. They had the thing with Brandon Miller. This is the first time they're in the Sweet 16 in a long time. They're not really like battle tested, and the Aztecs are really deep. Hey, go out there and see what happens. And obviously they won. This year, the feeling's different from a standpoint of like, you're not going up against a team that hasn't been there before. You're not going up against a team that has they don't have any controversy around them. The only controversy is Dan Hurley being like this weird, like underdog guy when their team's number 1 in the country. Other than that, there's the feeling going into this game is different than last year. But also, like you said, matching up for a second time and getting that rematch and getting a second chance here is something that I hope this team relishes, and I hope this team looks at as like they don't get this opportunity, very often, and you probably will never get this opportunity again in your lives as professional players to have this moment. And also go out there and you have nothing to lose, like literally zero to lose. All the pressure's on them. They're the team that needs to win the national title this year. They're the team that can't lose. And that's not what the Aztecs are. They're the team that's not expected to win. They're not expected to get back to the Final Four. They're not expected to win a national championship. And I like the Aztecs in that position.
To your point, so Dan Hurley, like you said, I mean, I think the best way to put it would be like he's eccentric, like he's unique. He's different than some head coaches. He's from I mean, he's got like a Northeast edge to him, is what I would say about Dan Hurley. He's from Jersey City. His dad was a coach. He played at Seton Hall. He just says things his way, and it works. But to your point, they win a national championship a year ago. When they practice, Jim, at every practice, they have an easel like you would put like art on when you're like coloring or painting.
Oh,
or
I saw this. Oh my God.
On the easel
I saw it.
is a huge photo of a national championship trophy like they won in 2023. And when they don't have a good practice, you know what Dan Hurley does with that national championship trophy and that easel?
What?
He throws basketballs at it and knocks it over, as if if you play like that, if you practice like that, you're not winning that. He's just different. I mean, he's just wired differently. He was very complimentary today of San Diego State, but he's different. It has worked. They're eyeing a second consecutive national championship for the first time since Florida did it 15 or 20 years ago. I think the Aztecs are loose. I've been listening to what they've been saying. I've been watching their practices. I think, to your point, the pressure is on Connecticut. He's trying to take it off them. Dan Hurley is, by using all these slights and these motivations and these tactics. At the end of the day, San Diego State is free and loose. I don't know if it's going to be enough or not, but I don't think they're going to be done in by the environment, done in by the opponent. If UConn's the better team, they're the better team. Simple as that. If that's how it plays out, that's how it plays out. But we'll see. It's 40 minutes. It's not a best-of-7 series. You don't have to beat them 4 times. It's 40 minutes. If shots fall for UConn, that's one thing. Maybe they don't. That's another. But I'm expecting a good game. You know, a year ago, Brian Dutcher talked about this today. A year ago, they got it down to 5 with 5 minutes to play. That's what we all asked for. Then UConn made plays. To their credit, UConn made plays. If San Diego State can put themselves in a similar spot, and we'll find out if they can or not, that's all I'm asking for. I think I said that Monday. Make it a game with 5 minutes to play. Have it down to 5, 6, 7 with 5 minutes to play. Put yourself in a position where they feel you, so to speak, and see if you can, if you can win it in the final 5 minutes, which is something they couldn't do a year ago.
The one thing I think that can't happen tomorrow is they get down early. Like if the first media timeout, it's like 15-5, like that's a problem. They need to come out and they need to match UConn or punch them in the mouth right away to let them know, like, we're here. I feel like if you're going that uphill battle the entire game, it's going to be tough. Because if you get it down to 5, you're probably going to have to exert a lot of energy to get it to that point if you're trailing by double digits the whole game. I feel like tomorrow you're going to need to see that fast start like you saw against Yale and UAB versus UConn to have a shot. Now, the rest of the game, obviously, a lot of things can happen, but I think the start of that game, they're going to need to start out like they did versus Yale or UAB, because if UConn jumps on them real quickly, like UConn has done to every team this year besides 3, it's just going to be a tough uphill battle.
Have you looked at, I think we maybe talked about this Monday, like, have you looked at the UConn scores this year? Like, not just the fact that they're whatever they are, 32-3, 33-3.
Yeah.
The scores, their margins, they are so rarely in a close game. I mean, they beat everyone by 20 points, 15 points. Very rarely have they beaten someone by like 1 to 9 points. It's happened like 3 or 4 times all season long. That, to me, is the most fascinating element. If you can give them a game, if you can put them in like situational basketball, where they need to, hold a small lead late. This is something they're not really accustomed to doing. It's almost like, I mean, it's a credit to them that they blow the doors off everyone that they play, but it also puts them in a spot that they're somewhat unfamiliar with. San Diego State plays a lot of close games. The onus is on San Diego State to keep it close and then potentially make plays down the stretch. But you know what it's going to be. I just heard JD Wicker with Darren. It's a UConn home game. Yeah. For whatever that's worth. The crowd's not playing. It's like a 12th man, in football. The crowd's not going to be playing in the game, but you got to overcome a lot. I thought in Houston last year it was more of a bowl game because you had 70,000 people. You didn't have 60,000 UConn fans.
No.
You had a little bit of both. This isn't that. I mean, this is a 20,000 seat building where the get-in price is $7. It's all UConn fans. It's $1,000 to sit downstairs. It's going to be intimidating. It's going to be loud, but I feel like they relish it. I mean, bring it on. You're playing UConn, so who cares if it's Anaheim, if it is Boston, if it's Houston. Jaden had a great line today. He said, we would have gone anywhere. We flew 5 hours. We would have flown 10.
Yeah.
We would have gone anywhere. It's a blessing. It's an opportunity. Bring it on. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Bring it on. San Diego State's not like Samford or even, Northwestern, right? Like these guys played each other last year. And there's a lot of same players on both teams. And so there's going to be that familiarity factor there. And I'm with you, man. Just like, let's go. Nothing to lose. See what happens. If you lose, okay, you lose. But at least I hope they go into this game with that mindset of, we're not scared, which I don't think they are at all. And you don't think they are either. And let's just go see what happens. We have nothing to lose. Play loose, free, easy, and have fun.
One point, it's so funny. Darren's texting me. And I thought about this because I looked at schedule and results today. The one team all year that consistently played them tough was St. John's. I think 3 times they might have had 3 single-digit losses, at least 2 single-digit losses. One of them by like 4 or 5 points.
The game in the Big East tournament, that was a close game, right? I think they lost by
Very
5.
Close, 95-90.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll leave it with this so we can get to the Padres because opening day is less than 24 hours away. UConn, if you can hold them to 70, you say, well, that's easier said than done, but San Diego State might be as good of a defense as UConn has played this year. I mean, you're talking about as good of a defense as UConn has played this year. When UConn is held to 70, they've been susceptible. When you can slow a game down against the University of Connecticut, and San Diego State can typically dictate tempo in a game. So if you can somehow slow the game down, I think it gives you a shot. Again, St. John's lost a game 95-90. I don't think San Diego State wants to get in a game like that.
Yeah,
but if you get in a game that's played 75-70 or 70-65, hopefully you give yourself a chance. All right, tomorrow, you're going to be downtown.
Yeah.
We have all-day coverage beginning at 6 a.m. with Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. I won't be there. I don't even know if I'm joining you, by the way, at 3 o'clock. It depends on what time I can get set up.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
But, yeah, absolutely. But, again, it's such a big day for San Diego sports. But, I mean, here's what I would say about opening day. Like what we said a year ago, it felt like they kind of sleptwalked through the beginning of the year. And truthfully, they kind of sleptwalked through the year until September when they got hot. It's less to me about opening day. We love opening day. It's baseball. It's pomp and circumstance. It's bunting. It's Americana. But to me, it's less about opening day and more about playing good baseball quicker than you did a year ago, which took 5 months, essentially, for the Padres to play. So, yeah, everyone wants to see them win on opening day, but opening day doesn't make a season.
No.
I want to see them play better baseball out of the gates, so to speak, whether it's opening day or the first series or the first homestand. This is something we were pleading for a year ago, and I hope we see more of in 2024 than we saw to start 2023.
Now, did you see the Padres release about everything that's happening in this opening series and on opening day as well? So Sheil Seidler, Peter Seidler's wife, throwing out the first pitch tomorrow. The Padres just unveiled, if you go to their X account, in center field, there's a giant heart with a PS out there in the outfield. They have Peter Seidler memorabilia all over, hearts and PSs everywhere around the ballpark. Last year's team should feel embarrassed for how they played, for everything that happened with Peter and, just the whole circumstance, right? The last year's team should feel embarrassed. This year's team, they have to go out and play with some heart, and they have to go out and play like fundamental baseball and play good baseball. Like, are they going to win 150 games? Absolutely not. But to go out and start kind of fast, like last year, they were kind of, like you said, sleepwalking throughout the season. And then they looked up at the standings and like, oh crap, what? And then they kicked it into gear when nothing mattered in the end. This year, they can't do that. They have to start out. I feel like they have to have a good start. They have to have a good start this April. And it starts tomorrow. It really does. Like, no more. It's early. It's not going to be said on this show. We're not going to say it. If they happen to lose 3 or 4, I'm like, oh, it's early. Like, no, I'm sorry that last year's team missed out by 2 games. That team didn't deserve to make the postseason. This year's team, they have to make the postseason with the moves they've made with Dylan Cease, with Preller kind of jobs on the line a little bit. You got to make the postseason. So it starts tomorrow. Like, let's go.
I feel the onus of how competitive the division is expected to be.
Yeah.
I see how teams have doubled down, even late in off seasons. The Will Smith extension is what it is, but it proves the larger point that the Dodgers will never be anything other than the Dodgers. He's going to be there either way in 2024. It hasn't made them any better, but It proves the overall point that you can never escape what they are, their shadow. Then for Arizona to spend like this is unbelievable. For them to go out and get Jordan Montgomery right before the season is a credit to their ownership and their willingness to win. for the Giants to go out and truthfully, maybe they didn't land the way they thought they would land this offseason. They didn't land, Shohei Ohtani, for example, but they have added significantly, including Blake Snell. We don't know how it's going to work out, but they've added. So, there's a lot of pressure there. You can say whatever you want, and you can say that it's a new manager and they were embarrassed by last year. But the truth is what's going to happen on field, like you've got an elite division. And we talked about this on Monday, and I'm sure you talked about it yesterday with Jordan Montgomery. The division's very competitive, and the other teams around you are only getting better. I'm not saying Jordan Montgomery is the reason why you can't be as good as Arizona or this Will Smith signing or Blake Snell, but it's just, man, everywhere you turn, these teams are upgrading their rosters, and the Padres have two to their credit, landing Dylan Cease. But it's just there are no easy ways here. Like this is going to be really challenging, even if they do play well to navigate this thing. Fortunately, there's 3 wild cards, but this division is going to be super competitive.
That Jordan Montgomery news dropped at like 6:04 last night, so I didn't have any chance to react to it. But dude, this division is going to be a gauntlet. If like these teams stay healthy and everything, because obviously injuries could change a lot of that, but just all of the teams in the division, besides the Rockies, of course, have added major pieces. Like obviously with Shohei being the biggest, but Me's team, the Giants, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, they've all added frontline starting pitching. And so that's why starting tomorrow, like I feel like you can't ease your way into this season if you're the Padres, because there's so much competition, not only in your division, but just in the National League for those 3 wild card spots. I know it's a long year. I know even if you lose 3 or 4, guess what? You can still make the postseason. We all get that.
No.
I just feel like you gotta start kind of fast here and not have it be like last year where you're easing into things, because you could look up all of a sudden and be like, oh my gosh, we're 7 games back on August 28th.
What's most realistic for the Padres in 2024? Is it second, third, or fourth place in the NOS? We will make our season predictions on the other side. We're getting you ready, of course, for the Sweet 16 in Boston. Also, opening day tomorrow at Petco Park. Stay with us on Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it's Schaefer, and you're getting ready for all of the excitement that tomorrow is going to bring, whether it's opening day or the continuation, of course, of this tournament. Everything you need is available for you at Windmill Farms. Head over there before the games, pick up your breakfast or lunch on the way out of the games after you're watching, or maybe you're down at Petco. Pick up your dinner. Windmill Farms, the college area's natural grocer, has you covered for everything, all your game day needs tomorrow, whether it's their deli with the award-winning sandwiches. Great idea to pick up some deli sandwiches before the games. Pick up a sandwich card. Your 8th sandwich is free. But they have all your grocery needs covered. The organic farm fresh produce and meats, the amazing craft beer selection, the kombucha as well. They're centrally located right off Del Cerro Boulevard, across the freeway from Montezuma Mesa. Easy in and out access, friendly smiles on their employees' faces, family-owned. Trevor and his family have been serving San Diegans for 20-plus years. They have weekly specials for you at windmillfarmsmarket.com. Even if you're not in the college area, you can find Windmill Farms and Instacart. Have your groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. So tomorrow is the perfect day for all your game day needs, your grocery needs, to swing by Windmill Farms. Shop local, shop at Windmill Farms. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again, and you're looking for the place to watch the games tomorrow. Look no further than Novo Brazil Brewing. They've got you covered for opening day and college hoops tomorrow at all of their area locations. I'm talking about the brand new spot in Mission Valley, Otay Ranch with the massive LED screens, IB as well. This is your spot. You know, Novo Brazil Brewing is proud supporters of the Mesa Foundation Collective. San Diego State Aztecs men's basketball and women's basketball benefits from that collective. They've got a co-branded product that was taste tested by Aztec legends, Lamont Butler, Jane Ledee, Micah Parrish, and others that benefit San Diego State student athletes. You need to try that product, that brand new Nova kombucha flavor, the Aztec Raspberry. In addition, get to Mission Valley, get to IB, get to Otay Ranch. They've got a brand new 350-seat spot in Mission Valley. It's spectacular. I've been there 4 or 5 times. It's a great place to watch all the action tomorrow. Full bar menu, 60 taps of Novo Brazil beer. They have the kombucha we've been telling you about, but it's great for the whole family as well with their food. Eclectic food offerings, sandwiches and tacos, burgers, empanadas, appetizers, Brazilian-inspired entrees as well. Get there tomorrow and this weekend for all the sports action. And for more information, visit novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com. All right, so as you know, I'm on the road with San Diego State, and I'm on the go, and it's been a crazy month, and I've brought a box of Almond RX almonds with me because I'm looking for something to curb hunger on the go, doing these radio shows, going to the TD Garden, bouncing around town, getting ready for games and getting ready for shows. You can eliminate the vending machine from your day, just like I've been able to do, and you can get your daily dose of vitamin D, and everyone loves a healthy snack for their family. If you're looking for something healthy, that's tasty, that curbs hunger, look no further than Almond RX. It is the first and only skinless almond fortified with vitamin D, and it's founded by a San Diego sports medicine physician. Almond RX is packed with a powerhouse of nutrients supporting your heart health, cellular health, gut health, and more. You can find Almond RX packs at any Foodland in San Diego County, Harvest Ranch in Encinitas, or at almondrx.com. That's ALMONDRX.com. In fact, if you go there right now, you're getting free shipping on all orders over $25. You heard me right. At almondrx.com, free shipping on orders of $25 or more. Almond RX curbs hunger. It's perfect for the on-the-go lifestyle. Visit almondrx.com.
Free agent to finally signed a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. He has a vesting option on that deal. Padres home opener tomorrow afternoon. Yu Darvish on the mound versus Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants. 1:10 first pitch there. And the Aztecs, they take on UConn in the Sweet 16 tomorrow afternoon in Boston. 4 p.m. pregame, 4:40 tip time. You can listen to that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $300 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $350 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
All right, bi-coastal edition of Jon and Jim. I'm in Boston, which Jim knew was in Massachusetts. Credit to Jim. I brought that story up, actually. I don't think Jim is listening to me right now. You're not even listening to me, and
Nope.
we're on different coasts.
No, I'm not
Okay, so
listening to you.
I was just
He
saying,
barely
Jim,
listens to you when he sits next to you. Why is
He
this
can't
shocking
listen.
to you?
I've learned a
People
couple
were like
things about
talking to me, so I was like,
I-
okay.
I've learned 2 things about Jim over the last, 5 years. One, he cannot read something and listen to someone else.
Correct.
Plus, he cannot think about something and listen to someone else. So that creates some problems.
I've caught myself doing that. I feel like I'm better at understanding my
I think
flaws.
so.
Because last night, Aaron was talking to me about something, and I was texting, I think, my mom back or whatever, and she goes, "You're not listening to me." I put my phone down. I go, "You know what? You're absolutely right. I was not listening to you because I can't
Well, here's
text
what I was
and
saying.
listen. It's a lot going on."
Here's what I was saying. I was telling people last night. I'm sure you'll appreciate this. I basically told anyone that works at San Diego State that you don't listen to anything.
That's not very nice.
But yeah, I know. I forget why it came up.
You just
No, actually, no, I didn't say
trash
that.
talking me. Like,
What
oh,
I
Jim,
said,
Jim
no, this is what I
sucks.
said. I said, believe it or not, Jim knows what state Boston is in because it came up on air, and people were very impressed.
Wow. So everyone thinks I'm an idiot, that I don't listen, and I can't multitask.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it
Great.
sounds
It's awesome.
a little cruel.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so we are in Boston. We are 25 hours out
You're in
from
Boston.
the Aztecs and the Huskies, and you are how many hours out from opening day? We're about 21 hours, right? What's it? 1 o'clock start? 1:10 start?
1:10 start, John. Yes, 1:10 start.
All right, so about 21 hours. I mean, this is the perfect in San Diego, as we've talked about before. I mean, in San Diego, you don't get a lot of days like Thursday.
No.
Other cities, sure. It can happen. You can have NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs at the same time. You can have NFL with Major League postseason. But in San Diego, I'm trying to think like how many days like Thursday have happened in recent history. I mean, I guess last year, San Diego State made its run.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not like happening every single year. And then again, the NFL has been gone for 7+ years. I'm sure you've had some epic days when you had the Chargers. I know the Aztecs won at Lawrence, or against Kansas in Lawrence one day when the Chargers won a playoff game as well, 7 or 8 or 9 years ago, whenever that was. But I mean, right? You don't take tomorrow for granted because there's only so many of those days. There's so many days where we don't have much going on over the course of a year. To get a day like tomorrow is something that should be relished, enjoyed.
Yeah, and last year you had obviously San Diego State play on the same days as the Padres because they made it so far to the tournament, but they didn't play on opening day, and it didn't set up like this where you had opening day at 1:10, and then immediately following that game, there's no overlap. You have a rematch of the national title game last year in the Sweet 16. It's gonna be a great day. Again, you're not gonna be here, but we will be. And by we, I mean me, will be at the Blind Burrow from 1 to 4, having a fun like Padres little watch party, leading you right into Aztec pregame. So that's going to be fun.
No, absolutely. Okay, remember how early in the week we pulled up Fangraphs? We're like, wow, look at this division, or look at the NL playoff race from a projections perspective. We understand projections can be wildly off. They have been with the Padres really each of the last 3 years, 21, 22, and 23. But I still think it proves this point that heading into the year, it's hard to discern much of a difference between Arizona, San Diego, and San Francisco. Dodgers, forget about. Someone like Atlanta, again, different division, I think you forget about. Now, can you have the 1 in 100 season? Absolutely. Nobody's going to rule it out. Nobody's going to kick it out of bed. You'd love to see the Padres have a 1 in a franchise history season and win 95+ games. It would be unbelievable. But if that doesn't happen, we're heading into a season where Fangraphs right now, and again, this accounts for Jordan Montgomery, has the Diamondbacks winning 84 games, has the Padres winning 83 games, and has the Giants winning 83 games. That's where you are to start a season. The odds are those 3 teams will not finish within 1 game of each other, obviously, but it goes to show how little of a margin there is. It's very unlikely, Jim, we talked about this. It's possible for all 3 to make the postseason. Talking about the Giants, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. It's extremely unlikely. I don't know if you can't expect that. 4 teams from 1 division to make the postseason, especially when you look around the National League. I find that very, very unlikely. So you're going to have to be better than one of those teams, at least, to make the postseason this year. Simple as that.
So are we just going to immediately just say the Dodgers are going to win 100 plus games this year?
Well, no, that's why I said if you have a 1 in 100, yeah, the Dodgers. Here's the deal: if the Dodgers don't win 100 games, that to me is more surprising than. I mean, that's about as surprising as it's going to get. They won 100 games last year, and they didn't have Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
How many do you think they'll win this year then? Because they won 100 exactly.
Well, I'm not going to say.
Year.
I'll say 100. I'll say they win 100.
I just think if you look at the rest of the division, if you wanted to make a case, you could that their rotation, not their lineup. The lineup's the best in the National League West and maybe all of baseball. Their rotation, there are some question marks there. And with the addition of Jordan Montgomery in Arizona, okay, I know Eduardo Rodriguez is starting the year off in the IL, but once he's back, you pair him with Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen. Here in San Diego, you got Musgrove, Darvish, King, Cease. In San Francisco, you got Blake Snell, Webb, Harrison, Hicks, and Robbie Ray whenever he gets back.
So what are you making? Listen, I'm fine with you making the argument. Do you actually believe it? Are you making an argument that in adding Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, I know he struggled in his first outing, everything they've done this offseason, adding in left field, whatever they've done, is it a realistic argument? I mean, how likely is it they don't win 99 plus games?
I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to be just a cakewalk for them this season. One, because I think their pitching, the starting pitching, could be viewed as a little bit of a question mark. Yamamoto's not like, he doesn't look sharp all year. He got lit up in Korea.
All year?
Glass now coming off an injury. Well, I meant like in spring training, John. Sorry. I'm not saying
last year he was sharp.
I'm just saying spring training. Glass now could be pretty good. But other than that, I mean, you got a couple of guys in that rotation that aren't named Walker Buehler or Clayton Kershaw
to start the year.
And their defense in the infield, that's going to be a little bit of an issue, maybe a big issue.
Defense in the infield is not going to be their problem in the regular season. They will not win 100 games because of infield defense.
I'm just saying it's not going to – I don't think it's going to be this cakewalk season where everything's going to go right for them and they're going to win 110 games because they might have the best talent on their roster.
Okay, but do you think they're going to win the division?
Yeah.
Therefore, we're talking about a wild card. The Padres have not won a division in how long? I mean, what's more realistic to entertain, them making the playoffs as a wild card team or them winning the division? If they prove us 50 games into the year, they're 35-15, let's have the conversation all season long. How likely is that? Do
you think the Dodgers will run away with this thing like they have the last however many years? Or do you think one of these teams, the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Padres that have retooled, especially in their pitching and the rotation, could maybe threaten the Dodgers?
I think it's a fair question. I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't win the division by 8 to 10 games. I just would, because I've watched this play out over the last decade, and seemingly they're not pressed. There's been a year or two. San Francisco won 107 games a few years ago. Credit to them. But, I mean, by and large, there has been no legitimate threat to them winning the division. This doesn't seem like the year it would happen. I'm with you on the starting pitching. The Ohtani story is an interesting one. What's going to come of this story? I mean, I guess that is at least a wrench that could be thrown into it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's much more likely that the Padres make the post. I think it's much more likely that the Padres are contending for a wild card than the division being hard fought until October 1st. That's how I feel today. I hope I'm wrong. I'm with you. I'd like to see someone vie for the division other than the Dodgers. It just seems like that never happens, unfortunately.
Right. I agree.
All right, on the other side, much more on it. We'll get you ready for opening day, obviously. And again, San Diego Sports 760, broadcasting all day long, a portion of the day from downtown as well. We're getting you ready for the Sweet 16 here from Boston as well. I'm in Boston. Jim's in San Diego. We've got you covered for one of the more epic sports days in San Diego in recent history. Stay with us on Jon and Jim. All right, imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free with no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer again, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner, listen to this, saves over $850 a month doing this. I mean, imagine what you can do with an extra $850 a month. So just unbelievable. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Here's the number to call. You can do it right now or write it down. 619-207-4336. That's 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. 619-207-4336. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender. All right, I'm going to tell you all day long about how to get ready for an epic sports day in San Diego, and do it tonight or do it tomorrow over at Windmill Farms. They have everything you need to make it as good of a day as you can possibly envision as a San Diego sports fan. Pick up your sandwiches, pick up your dinner tonight. Get ready for your game day needs, your tailgating, your viewing experience over at Windmill Farms, the college area's natural grocer. They've got the sandwiches. I mean, they're incredible with the high-quality ingredients and the low prices and the sandwich card. You're getting your Ace sandwich for free with the sandwich card, but they have everything you need for your grocery needs and for your game day needs tomorrow. The produce and meats that's organic, the amazing craft beer and kombucha selection. They're centrally located right by San Diego State. They're family-owned, serving San Diegans for 20-plus years, working with San Diego businesses for all that time. Harris Ranch, Mr. G Salsa. Even if you're not in the college area and you just want to do your grocery shopping with Windmill Farms, find them on Instacart and have your groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. But a great place with great people. Trevor and his family serving San Diegans for 20-plus years. This is the spot to stock up for tomorrow as a San Diego sports fan. They've got weekly specials for you right now on Instagram or at Windmill. Breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your game day, your grocery needs. Shop local, shop at Windmill Farms. All right, John and Jim back with you, getting you ready for tomorrow here in Boston. That's where I am. Jim is in our San Diego Sports 760 studios. We'll be downtown tomorrow. Run it through again, Jim, for our listeners where they can join you tomorrow. Take in all the activities around opening day.
Well, I'll run through the entire station, what's happening tomorrow. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And then Darren and Marty from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. will be at the Blind Burrow. Tom Seidler is supposed to join them outside of the Blind Burrow tomorrow.
Love it.
And then I will go on at 1 p.m., right when the Padres game starts. We're going to have a fun watch party at the Blind Burrow. If you can't make it into Petco Park, come on down, watch the game with me. I got some special giveaways, some Padres giveaways. I got a Fernando Tatis Jr. bobblehead, some Jon and Jim swag. So come on down, hang out with me, watch the game at the Blind Burrow, have some fish tacos, have a couple margaritas, watch the game, and then right at 4 p.m. is when our Aztec pregame show starts, and that's when we'll get going to the Aztecs.
It is just an epic day, obviously, for San Diego sports fans. We have you covered right here on San Diego Sports 760. So back to this game tomorrow here in Boston for a moment. You know how UConn has won 8 consecutive tournament games by double figures, right?
Oh, I actually forgot. I forgot.
Well, they're the reigning national champs, Jim, and they've won 8 consecutive tournament games by double digits.
Is that good?
They've lost 3 times this year. Some would say, I mean, Dan Hurley went along with a line of questioning early in the week that is this team unbeatable, and he went along with it, which absolutely shocked me.
Wow.
But the reason I bring it up is because even Dan Hurley, for all the successes they're having at UConn, he's not on board with free agency every single year. And a lot of coaches have said the same thing, but a lot of coaches aren't winning like Dan Hurley's winning at the University of Connecticut. He had a really interesting quote that is making the rounds today from Boston, where he said, "I don't think it's healthy for players to change schools like underwear." This is Dan Hurley, who's won at the highest level over the last 2 years in college basketball. Can they put the thing back in the bottle, though? I mean, now that you're allowing 2-time transfers, now that there's really no regulation in terms of transferring, it doesn't seem like they're going to ever get it back. Is that just where we are, where you're gonna have 4- and 5-year players playing at 4 or 5 different schools from now until eternity? Because how are you going to stop it? I mean, it's gone from you can't transfer to now you have to sit out a year to transfer to you can transfer one time to you can transfer unlimited times.
I always find it funny when college coaches complain about the transfer portal, yet college coaches change jobs just as frequently. Now, Danny Hurley probably not going to leave UConn. Like, I don't know. Like, where's the step up there? Like maybe,
right.
You know what I mean? Like maybe like North Carolina or Duke, if you want to go that route. But I mean, UConn basketball wise, it's a pretty good place to be the head coach of. Especially if you're winning. So for him to say that, he's not going anywhere. But if you're like, the James Madison head coach this year, I forget where he went, or the Utah State head coach going to Washington after only 1 year, like to have coaches complain about the transfer portal instead of just saying, like, trying to embrace it and realizing that that's the way of college athletics now, it's a little hypocritical in my eyes. Maybe not from Danny Hurley, but just as a whole. Like if you're if you're a coach at another school talking about it and complaining about the transfer portal and then NIL, it's like, well, guess what? If another school came calling, you'd leave in a second.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I do agree, and that point's been brought up over the years. I guess I would just say this, like, you don't even have it in professional sport. Like, imagine if every year in Major League Baseball, all players were free agents.
Or basketball or football.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting, I guess, but, like, it would also be utter insanity, which is kind of where college basketball and college football is. Because it's almost like I'd rather hear the players that are not in the portal than players that are in the portal. I'm assuming all players are in the portal as opposed to all players are not in the portal. I mean, it's unbelievable. Free agency every single year. Again, maybe there's some advantages to it, and I understand it from like a player perspective. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, if I as a student could go from one university to another, why can't they as a student athlete? It just feels like, I don't know. It just seems like a slippery slope. Are we really going to do this where every single year, every single roster is going to turn over? And are people going to be okay with that?
I mean, it's always going to be
college athletics.
It's always going to be a slippery slope. And tell me if I'm wrong here, but did I see it right that Brian Dutcher talked today about that NIL tournament and mentioned how like that's kind of the way of things of basketball nowadays, and they want to play in that?
Let's talk about that on the other side.
Okay.
Brian Dutcher commenting on this proposed NIL tournament that would pay each team participating $1 million in name, image, and likeness for its players. Is San Diego State on board with that or not for 2024 and beyond? Plus, we'll get to the wrap on the other side. Also in the 4 o'clock hour, your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Social Distortion at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That is April 12th with special guest Bad Religion. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We're in Boston and San Diego, getting you ready for the Sweet 16 and opening day in hour 2 of Jon and Jim. That comes your way next. All right, I told you I'd be telling you about them all day long. Our friends over at Windmill Farms, as you get ready for an epic sports day in San Diego, make sure to get your day started over there, the college area's natural grocer. Whether you're heading out of work here later on tonight, pick up your dinner or all your grocery needs for tailgating or watching sports on television tomorrow, Windmill Farms has you completely covered. Everything you need, they have, including over at their deli with the sandwiches and the selection and the low prices. And with the sandwich card, you're getting your 8th sandwich free. But in addition to that, you can pick up all your grocery needs for tomorrow and this weekend. The produce and meats, the beer, the craft beer, the kombucha, and they're centrally located. They just are. They're right by Montezuma Mesa, family owned. Everyone over there has a smile on their face. They really do. It's so easy to get in and out of. It's not one of those big box grocers. It's just not. It's easy to get in and out of. And again, they've been serving San Diegans, Trevor and his family, for 20 plus years, working with San Diego businesses. They got everything you need. And even if you're not in the area, you can go to Instacart and have your groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. Just find Windmill Farms on Instacart. Also on Wednesday, they've got double ad days at windmillfarmsmarket.com. So take advantage of all their weekly specials, especially on a Wednesday like today. It is a Wednesday, right? Over at windmillfarmsmarket.com or on Instagram. So as you get ready for an epic sports day in San Diego or all your grocery needs, make sure to shop local and shop at Windmill Farms.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. Starting in baseball last night, right after we got off the air, Jordan Montgomery signed a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Padres home opener is tomorrow afternoon. Yu Darvish on the mound versus Logan Webb of the Giants. 1:10 first pitch there. And the Aztecs, they take on UConn in the Sweet 16, a rematch of last year's national championship game. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:40 tip time. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more. Staples.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim, the bi-coastal live edition. I'm in Boston. Jim's in San Diego. We've got Sweet 16 right here on San Diego Sports 760 tomorrow. Kind of looks like I'm in a prison, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube. I'm not. And if I was in prison, I mean, even if I was, though, I wonder if I could connect in prison. Because with this 3G, it's kind of cool how you can do that. I don't know if you can do it from prison, but
you want to try
from
it?
my hotel.
Want to try it?
Not necessarily.
You wouldn't last 30 minutes in prison.
Bro, I wouldn't. Yes, I wouldn't last 3 seconds.
It would be a disaster.
It would be I'd be, first of all.
So you don't want to do live from San Quentin next week?
No, I'd be like, do you guys have kombucha?
They'd be like, get on the floor, get on the ground. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait, you're on the East Coast. Go visit Rikers.
Everyone relax.
I hear it's nice there.
By the way, I just saw this. There's a lot to get to. We'll get to the wrap. We also have a giveaway this hour that I just told you about a moment ago. We are giving away a pair of tickets to see Social Distortion, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll do that during Trainwreck Radio. What is the deal? And let me know if I've missed something. But what is the deal with the Padres TV schedule? And the reason I ask, I mean, I got Padres.tv.
Me too.
And you can buy that. But the reason I ask is, what is this tweet from Fox 5 San Diego? This is the Padres return to Fox 5. Coverage of the Giants-Padres begins Saturday at 4 p.m. That's not a national Fox game, is it?
I think it's a national Fox game.
Oh, it's a national Fox game.
But here's the thing, though. Saturday's game might be rained out because it's supposed to rain this weekend. I don't know if you saw that.
I understood, but my question is more like, is Fox 5 airing Saturday Padres games?
No, I don't think so, because they just preview, or they just
take the national broadcast on Fox.
Talked about them this Saturday versus the Giants. They didn't mention that they're going to take all Saturday Fox games. And
so it's just a tweet. You're saying
probably just a tweet. Now, here's the thing, John. So, like, I've seen people like comment on our YouTube channel, and I've seen it on social media and everywhere, like complaining about Padres.tv. And I know that Darren and Marty had this huge conversation about it today on their show in the last couple of days about maybe like the reluctance to get Padres.tv. Why would there be reluctance when, if you map out the price of everything, it's less than $1 to watch every single game this year? $100 for the full season. And if you have like a YouTube TV or Hulu TV or whatever, right? And if these games happen to go on to Cox or Spectrum or whatever, it's going to cost you way more per month to watch Padres games on quote unquote cable television than it would be if you had a streaming service like YouTube TV, along with $100 for an entire season to watch Padres on Padres.tv.
Okay, I agree with you, but let me just say this. Here's my caveat. And I missed some of this conversation with Darren and Marty. But here's my thing. Like, I've heard Darren say before, he's like me, and you have YouTube TV, right?
Yeah. It's the greatest thing ever.
Hear me out. When I first got YouTube TV here in San Diego, they had Bally Sports San Diego. So if you paid $80 a month, you didn't pay a dime more, in theory, to have Bally Sports San Diego to watch like 155 of the 162 games. Now, that went away, and then you'd have to find a way to watch Bally Sports or whatever it was last year. But my point is this. If, as opposed to needing Padres.tv, and I'm with you, I think $100 is, by all intents and purposes, more than reasonable. But the preference is, can we go back to like 2018 or 2020 or 2019 and get Padres.tv or Bally Sports San Diego on YouTube TV? Then you have it where you had it, and you're not paying the additional $100. Because in a perfect world, what we had 4 years ago was I had YouTube TV, the Padres were there, not for a penny more. Now we're paying $100 more than YouTube TV, which isn't what we did 4 years ago.
Wait, they were on YouTube TV 4 years ago?
Absolutely. Bally Sports San Diego, when I first got YouTube TV, was carried.
How much was your monthly payments?
No more than YouTube TV is now. They didn't lower it.
$72?
Whatever, 70, 80, whatever.
Because that's what I pay right now for
money.
YouTube TV.
Yeah, it wasn't more money. They had the regional sports networks. They got rid of them, and that created this whole issue.
When I had, because I didn't have YouTube TV previously, when they had Padres, I had Spectrum, and to add Bally Sports San Diego to Spectrum, it was a total, along with the cable and at just Padres, it was $180 a month.
With the cable, though.
With the cable. And Bally's.
No, Darren will tell you, when Darren signed up for YouTube TV, Bally Sports San Diego was part of the package.
Okay.
And it was for multiple years.
Then why are they not? What's the deal here? Then I don't.
Well, the deal is that's why Bally went under. They're not getting the rights fees from places like YouTube TV anymore, that's why they went under.
Okay. Well. Okay, I get it.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's where Darren's – and correct me if I'm wrong. Man, that's where I would come from. I say, listen, in an ideal world, there was a world like 3 years ago where I was watching the Padres on YouTube TV and I wasn't paying a dime more. Now I'm paying $100, which, again, at the end of the day isn't the end of the world. To your point, it's 60 cents a game. It is reasonable. But you're asking people to go above their cable provider, above their streaming provider, which isn't how it has always been. That's the one bugaboo for me.
Things aren't going to be cheap, John. I mean, things are just becoming more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. And I think, this is just me personally, that $100 for the entire season, or if you have T-Mobile, like Brent yesterday, because he has the T-Mobile, and you can get the MLB.TV free through the whole year, Brent?
Yeah,
all year long. Okay. I just view that as like, it could be worse. Like
it could be way worse.
It could be way worse. It could be a situation
last year was worse,
where you have to pay like $100 a month.
Well, that's what it was last year. I had to buy DirecTV Stream. It was a disaster.
Yeah, the whole disaster.
It could be worse. It could be better.
You have to go through Fubo or whatever. At least with MLB.TV and no blackout restrictions, which is like the biggest part of this whole equation, it blows away any app that the Padres have ever been on. Bally Sports app sucked. Whatever else they were on sucked. MLB.TV, it's the easiest thing in the world, and you know it. I can watch it on my computer. I can watch it on my phone. My smart TV, super simple. Like, it is, for me, easy to access everything, and I much prefer this than having to potentially have to pay like $150 for my cable provider to watch Padres baseball. Now, if it, like you said, was on YouTube TV.
It was on YouTube
and
TV.
The price for everything, including the cable on YouTube TV and Padres, was only $75 a month or whatever. Then where's that? I want that.
It's gone. Well, and the problem is not only is it gone, also the Padres aren't getting any money from their TV.
That's a problem. Yeah.
Deal. So you have, like, honestly, you've hurt the consumer, in my opinion, because it used to be part of YouTube TV. You've hurt the club because you're not getting $60 million a year anymore from Bally Sports San Diego, and that's a whole nother conversation. You touched on this. We'll get to the wrap in a moment. You mentioned, I didn't see it directly quoted from Dutch, and I wasn't in this press conference because I was talking to players at the time, but John Fanta, who's a good friend and a great college basketball reporter and is in Boston and who I've seen like 10 times today.
He's big time now. He's way too big time for the show.
He's way too big for the show. In fact, he invited me out, but I'm like, I have to do a show from 6 to 9. He would come on the show if not for being out in where he invited me to be.
How mad are you that you have to do your job?
I'm super mad because he's doing something cooler than this show right now.
That's not very nice.
He said this. John Fanta was in the press conference with Brian Dutcher earlier, and he has him quoted as saying this is Fanta on Twitter. Brian Dutcher says San Diego State absolutely has to play in the quote-unquote Players Era NIL tournament set for Las Vegas next fall. He said, in the current age of the sport, it's necessary to do anything that helps the players. So for those that are unfamiliar with this event, it's proposed, it has not been signed, sealed, delivered, there are no teams or full specifics as of yet. We report on this when we saw it 2 weeks ago, that the proposal is 8 teams, Jim, in Vegas, each getting $1 million, and then the winning team getting an additional $1 million. The $1 million would be split among the current student athletes on each of the 8 teams. So how many scholarship players? Let's say 12. $1 million into 12 is what? $80K? $80K per player to appear in this event. And according to John Fanta earlier today, Brian Dutcher is on board with something like that because that will keep San Diego State in a position it needs to be from a competitive perspective in NIL.
Where do I sign up?
Sign up. Yeah.
Like Dutch understands the way of college athletics nowadays, and he's done a great job of embracing it. Well, if you gave him truth serum, he might say and sit down with you and say, I hate this. This sucks. I wish we'd go back to the old days with recruiting and guys staying in college for 4 years and the NIL not being a huge thing and the transfer portal. And I hate all this crap. He could go that route and be the curmudgeon, but he's not. And he's embracing it. And he's very smart about it because he knows this is the way of college athletics now. And for San Diego State to compete in that field, he's going to have to embrace it 100% in order to, get what he wants out of this whole thing and the recruiting process and transfers and NIL, and also to maintain a level of winning and that standard that San Diego State has.
He used a really interesting term this offseason with Mark Ziegler. He said, for us to maintain relevancy, for us to stay relevant, we need to increase our NIL. Relevant. This is the team that played in the national championship game that is in a Sweet 16 right now. Basically saying, like, be careful. Like, you can go from the top to the middle of the pack in a short order, especially in a sport like college basketball with all of the change. And NIL is crucial for San Diego State. Like, if you got a chance to keep Miles Byrd, Elijah Saunders, Micah Parrish, Lamont Butler, like, that's the difference maybe between making an NCAA tournament and not making a tournament, or winning a game in the tournament or not. You get the point. So $1 million for student athletes to appear in Vegas to play 3 games.
Where do we sign?
Like you said, where do we sign up?
Yep.
Where do we sign up?
Do it right now.
All right. We have a giveaway for you coming up later this hour. We've been telling you about those 2 tickets to Social Distortion, but right now let's get to those.
Whoops.
Oops.
Oopsie.
Wrong button.
Wrong button.
Who has the best rotation in the NL West?
If all things are being equal, like the Giants have a pretty damn good rotation. I just don't know how Blake Snell's going to pitch. I really like the Padres rotation. I really do. I don't know if they're the best, but I'll take them versus anybody. So give me the Padres. Screw it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the addition of Cease, and again, if all things are like you just assume health, I do think their rotation all of a sudden feels a lot better than it did like 10 days ago or whenever they acquired.
Dude, Arizona's really good, though.
Arizona is good with health, obviously, especially with the addition of Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers rotation, to your point, kind of has to prove something. Yamamoto's never pitched the big leagues. Glass now has been hurt. You have the Buehler situation, Kershaw.
James Paxton and other guy that I don't even know whose name is. Like
Bobby Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I feel like they're kind of evenly matched. Like, I don't feel like there's one that is clearly above the others, which might be advantage everyone other than the Dodgers heading into the season. Now, the problem is I think the Dodgers lineup is clearly above the other lineups.
That is correct. I don't think there's any argument there. No.
Yeah, but I do think you could make an argument probably for like 3 or 4 of the 4 teams in the NL West, other than the Rockies, having the best rotation within the division. I wouldn't be shocked if like the Giants had the best rotation or Padres, etc.
And whatever team has of the Giants, Padres, and Diamondbacks of their rotation, whoever's the top 5 rotation, that team will make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. Next question.
Should Caitlin Clark take Ice Cube's offer of $5 million to play in the Big 3 league this summer?
Yeah, because here's the thing. If you look at the salaries in the WNBA, a lot of people were like, dude, just stay in college. The highest paid salary in the WNBA is less than $1 million. Like
$242,000 a year.
Yeah. So, and when you look at like a total contract, the totality of the highest paid player in the WNBA makes less than $1 million.
That's amazing.
So absolutely, if they're offering you $5 million and this doesn't affect the WNBA season, which I don't think it would, 100% do it, Caitlin. 100% do it.
Yeah, I don't see why she wouldn't do it. Now, I will say this. Caitlin Clark is somewhat similar, I mean, on a different scale, but to a player that does so well in endorsement. I mean, she's not Shohei Ohtani. She's not doing $70 million in endorsement.
No.
But she has a chance to earn, I would think, beyond even $5 million annually in endorsement. I'm watching the NCAA tournament. She's on 2 or 3 national ads right now. So I don't know if I would do it solely for the money. I think the money's going to come via endorsement. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. I don't see why you wouldn't do it. Like, I don't think it's something like, oh, you can't do big 3. It's not something absurd. It's not ridiculous. So I think if it's a fair and legitimate offer that pays her much more than anything else she's capable of earning, I don't really see why she wouldn't do it.
And it's not like, if this is the normal NBA, or like, oh, what if you roll your ankle or blow your knee out, you'll be throwing away, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's the WNBA.
Yeah, the compensation in the WNBA is ridiculous. But anyway,
that's a good point.
Next question.
Do you think UConn's a blue blood?
Yeah, I do. I know that they're not like the prototypical blue, like by definition, the Kansases, the North Carolinas, the Dukes, right? But when you win, 4? How many national championships do they have, John? 4, 5?
5 since '99.
Yeah, when you have 5 since '99 in the last 24 years, like you're, come on, you're one of the top level college basketball programs in the country. You're, to me, a blue blood.
I think they're like the bluest of the blue bloods.
Yeah,
blue
UConn.
Bloods. Nobody has won more since '99. They've never lost a national championship game. They're 5-0. They're the favorite.
Is that good?
We don't know what's going to happen this year. They're the favorite to win a 6th national championship. They're trying to go back-to-back for the first time since Florida in like 2007. I would put UConn as more of a blue blood today than UCLA. I mean, UCLA hasn't won a title in 30 years.
Yeah,
they had an amazing run under John Wooden, but that was almost, I mean, you're talking about like over a half century ago. So I don't see how you can knock UConn from a basketball power perspective. You want to do it with Gonzaga because they haven't won a national championship game? Truthfully, I don't even think that's fair. But UConn has won consistently at the highest level. I don't see any argument against them being one of the top 4 or 5 programs in America. Next question.
And such disrespect for Toby Bailey. Will 4 teams from the NL West make the playoffs this year?
No, just because math, like it wouldn't work. But there's 4 legitimate teams in the NL West that all could make the postseason. Absolutely. But I think just because of the math and it wouldn't work out, only 3 will make it, not 4.
You know what? I think 2 will make it.
Really?
Because I think that there will be a legitimate contender for a wild card, obviously, in the NL East, right? There has to be. I mean, the way these teams spin.
Phillies and maybe Mets, if they stay healthy.
Yeah. And then, I mean, are we really so low on the Central, which isn't as competitive, that somebody couldn't emerge with like 84 wins? I mean, 84 wins is not a lot of wins.
Yeah, but maybe the Central, with the Reds getting some help this offseason, the Cubs kind of standing pat and re-signing Cody Bellinger.
Cardinals being old.
Cardinals retooled a little bit. They still have Goldschmidt and Arenado.
Right, they're old.
But maybe those 3 teams I just mentioned in the Central are, 82, 83 wins, trying to do it for a wild card, or not wild card, a division.
True.
And then maybe the other teams, the Phillies, the Mets, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Padres are around the 85, 86 win mark.
It's possible. Yeah, I could see that. I wouldn't count out a team emerging in the Central or a team emerging in the East.
Yeah, we don't know.
Last year, how many teams made the postseason from the NL West?
2. Yeah, 2.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like the math would favor, again, 3 divisions, 3 wild cards. I think the math would favor 2.
The NL West last year, I want to say wasn't as good, but the Padres on paper were really good.
That's the thing.
And the Giants weren't that great. Yeah, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. I could make an argument for 2 or 3 NL West teams. There's no way I could make an argument for 4.
I'll say right now 3. I'll go 3.
What do you guys think? 70470, start it with team over under 2.5. You think 2 teams make the postseason out of the NL West or 3? 70470, start your message with the word team. More on that on the other side. Plus, coming up this hour, Trainwreck Radio, your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Social Distortion at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. This is April 12th. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks with special guest Bad Religion. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Keep listening for your chance to win. How many teams make the postseason out of the NOS as we get you ready for opening day and the Sweet 16 here in Boston? Stay with us on Jon and Jim. So, guys, imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free with no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash. They're doing it almost instantly with Loan Pronto's AI-based system. You can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. And you can use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner is saving over $850 a month doing this. Think about what you could do with $850 a month. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Here's the number to call. Write this down. You can call right now. 619-207-4336. 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. Again, it's 619-207-4336. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender. All right, how are you getting ready for tomorrow's epic sports day in San Diego? You should be by going over to Windmill Farms. They've got you covered as you're getting ready to go downtown or watch the NCAA tournament. Get ready with all your needs at Windmill Farms. They have you covered for everything you need. Maybe you're picking up sandwiches for tomorrow. Do so at their deli with their wide selection of sandwiches, with their low prices, with their fresh, high-quality ingredients, with their sandwich card, where you're getting your 8th sandwich free. Maybe you just have groceries in general for the meats, the beer, the craft beer, the kombucha. It's an unbelievable place. It's centrally located off Del Cerro Boulevard, right by Montezuma. Easy to get in and out of. They've been serving San Diegans for 20-plus years, Trevor and his family. They work with local businesses. We've been telling you about that for a long time. And even if you're not in the college area, you can find them on Instacart, which is super simple and easy, by the way. If you've never used it, you can have your groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. Also on Wednesdays, double ad Wednesdays. Take advantage of their weekly specials. Get more of them at windmillfarmsmarket.com on Wednesdays or at Instagram. Whatever it is, as you get ready for this huge sports weekend in San Diego, make sure to shop local and shop at Windmill Farms.
This update is brought to you by Staples Stores. News in the NL West. Last night, Jordan Montgomery signed a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Padres opening day at Petco Park tomorrow. 1:10 first pitch. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. And the Aztecs rematch of the national championship game last year in the Sweet 16 tomorrow night versus UConn, with the shot to go to the Elite Eight for back-to-back seasons. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:40 tip time. You can listen right here on San Diego Sports 760. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of 100 or more, 50 off your print purchase of 200 or more, and 100 off your print purchase of 300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
All right, so Trainwreck Radio coming up in about 15 minutes. Your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Social Distortion at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. This is April 12th, which is like 2 weeks away. Special guest Bad Religion. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We'll get back to the Padres and the Aztecs in a moment. I was just thinking about this, Jim. This Shohei Ohtani gate, so to speak. Everything surrounding Ohtani.
Gate?
Is there, like, this thing is not going away.
No.
And by the way, nor should it go away. And there's no worse place to think that it would go away than being under the bright lights of playing for the LA Dodgers. You don't play for the Angels anymore, man. This story is not going to go away. Now, how does it loom over the season? That's what's interesting from our conversation last hour. Like, hey, are the Dodgers going to run away with this division? Will they win 100 games again? I could be convinced. I don't know if it'll be accurate or not. I could be convinced that this could hover over their season or his season individually to some extent. I don't know how convinced I am of that. Like, can he compartmentalize? Is there something coming as it relates to Ohtani and his availability on field as it relates to this investigation for Major League Baseball? But I do know this, like, in Los Angeles with the Dodgers, with the $700 million deal, with you being the face of baseball, there's no world, Jim, in which this goes away anytime soon.
Nope. The perception of Shohei Ohtani has completely changed. Do I think it's going to affect his play? No, not really. But the squeaky clean image of Shohei Ohtani, like, that's done. And whatever happens here, if he's telling the truth, how messy this thing is from well, didn't you just say this, but now you're saying this, and then you said this, and then now you're saying this. So whose line here? Whole part of the story is the problem that I think people have, where I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying that he 100% on baseball, or not baseball, but bet on sports and everything here. But what I am saying is whatever story that is being said, it is all fishy. And to have Shohei's people just completely kind of mess this whole thing up to make it look like Shohei is not telling the truth, that's on them. And it's also on Shohei, because Shohei has to surround himself with better people. And it's a mess for him, I think, off the field, for sure. Not on the field, but off the field.
What do I like to say? Well, a number of things.
You say a lot of things.
But heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah, that's what you say.
I mean, when you make your free agency this like cloak and dagger secrecy.
Yeah, come on, man.
And then you sign for $700 million and you end up with the LA Dodgers. And then the first game of the season, you have like this probe investigation story revealed. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you're going to get paid $700 million and if you're going to act like, you are the face of the sport, you're going to have to deal with this. And I honestly have no idea how it's going to shake out. I have no idea.
He's getting destroyed in the LA Times. Have you seen that?
Destroyed in the LA, and not just destroyed in the LA Times. Like, there's legal ramifications. There's a Major League Baseball investigation. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, Jim, of any result. To like we talked about it earlier over the last couple of days. Maybe baseball protects Ohtani because of what his impact is. Maybe they don't, and something is looming down the road that impacts his availability. Like, maybe something results from an actual investigation that has nothing to do with Major League Baseball, but is more of like an actual, like, legal investigation. Is he being 100% truthful with his prepared statement that was read earlier this week? There's a lot more questions, and every single time they play after the game, people aren't going to be asking about his single through the right side.
No,
they're going to have additional questions beyond him going 1 for 4 with a double.
Yeah, when you don't answer any questions and you have a prepared statement and you definitively say that you had no knowledge of this, I mean, you are setting yourself up.
Yep.
That you better be telling the truth, because this thing could easily go to court. And if you have it on the record, which you do, saying that you had no involvement, you had no knowledge of this, you didn't do anything of any wrongdoing, and you were 100% like stolen from, you better be telling the truth. Like, it can't come back that you knew anything, because if you did, you're screwed.
It could really be screwed. Remember, I think it was Monday, we talked about what Mike Greenberg had to say about UConn. Like, hey, they could be in the play-in tournament. This team is that's how good they are. They could be. So Dan Hurley has responded. And I don't think he did this in his press conference today. It was either on PTI or in the USA Today. I think it's in the USA Today. He replied by saying this. This is a direct quote from Dan Hurley. I know somebody on ESPN said we could beat, and he just says this, we could beat an NBA team or something bizarre. He goes on to say, that's crazy talk. That's beating an NBA team. Mike Greenberg said they could win 40 games, essentially, or something like that, to get to a play-in tournament. I am so glad Dan Hurley shut that narrative down. That is such a lazy, easy, ridiculous take. Oh, they're so good. You see what they did to Northwestern? They beat Northwestern by 15. Imagine what they would do to the Philadelphia 76ers. Dan Hurley said, enough of that. We're not an NBA team. We're not trying to beat NBA teams. We're a college team trying to win a national championship. And by the way, Mike Greenberg today on his show, Jim, said he said it in jest.
Oh, shut up.
He was joking, and I don't buy that.
No, he's saying it because he's getting destroyed for it on social media. And he looks like a clown when he says stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Mike Greenberg just rubs me the wrong way. He just does. I don't know why. He just does. It's like you're this like little Jets fan that goes on the air and says he basically is the guy that thinks he's smarter than everybody in the room. Like, that's how he comes off to me. And then when he says something like that, I'm just like, shut up, dude. That's why I don't like those shows. Those are just everyone's looking for a hot take. Everyone's a hot take guy. Everyone's a hot it's just so stupid. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I did.
No, again, I mean, no, we said early in the week, it's like I've never the idea, these undefeated Alabama teams could beat the bad Browns. The idea that these great college baseball teams could beat a Major League Baseball team or the single A team. We even joked about the Padres prospect lineup. Oh my gosh. Look at this lineup, Jim. It has Ethan Salas in it. It has Leo DeVries.
The Marlins?
Yeah, they could beat the Marlins. No, they can't. And like that's definitive end of sentence. So we don't need to play it out on field to prove that point. And I don't understand when people don't understand that point. And maybe they do understand it, Jim. And to your point, it gets people talking and reacting. And maybe that's overall.
We know.
Maybe we're the ones that don't get it because they're the ones getting people talking.
That's how that show works. That's how those shows work. They try for the hottest of takes to get people to react and talk. And guess what we're doing? We're reacting and talking about it because of how stupid it sounds. Like, come on, give me a break.
I'm with you. All right. So the Padres will get underway tomorrow against the Giants downtown. We are broadcasting live from the Blind Borough, beginning with the Darren Smith Show at 10 a.m., but we have all-day coverage with Big Rich, TD, and Fletch beginning at 6 a.m. Jon and Jim without Jon beginning at 1 p.m. And Jim's got prizes, by the way, at the Blind Borough, so make sure to get there and join them. Your chance to win prizes on site from Jon and Jim tomorrow.
These prizes will only be available to win at the Blind Borough, so you're going to need to come down and join me tomorrow starting at 1 if you want to win some of these cool prizes that I have to give away.
All right, so you're going to be there from 1 to 4.
1 to 4. I'll basically be downtown like all day. It's like an all-day event.
Right.
But we get going at 1, and you're like, well, doesn't the Padre game start? Like, yes, we know it starts at 1 o'clock.
But you can watch the game.
But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a watch party, and we're gonna watch the game, and we're gonna react to it, and we're gonna have a fun time. And we're gonna drink margaritas and eat fish tacos. So come and join me and hang out.
It's a great spot. If you haven't been to the Blind Borough, and I think most Padres fans have, because it's right by the Western Metal Supply Company building, but it's a great spot. So swing by tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m., Darren Smith Show, and then 1 p.m. again, Jon and Jim without Jon, with a chance to win prizes with Jim tomorrow downtown as the Padres get their season underway and as the Aztecs get ready for the Sweet 16 tomorrow at 4:39. Right here on San Diego Sports 760. All right, coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, what is on the line for A.J. Preller as he gets set to begin his 10th season as Padres general manager? Plus, you need to call right now for your chance to win 2 free tickets to see Social Distortion at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on April 12th. We're going to play Trainwreck Radio, that is trivia. First 2 callers will be our contestants. Great prize, 2 free tickets to see Social Distortion. Here's the number to call, 877-767-4760. Call right now. Your chance to win 2 free tickets to see Social Distortion, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, April 12th with Bad Religion. Again, write this number down. Call right now. 2 free tickets are on the line during trivia. 877-767-4760. That's next on Jon and Jim. All right, guys, do you find it hard to eat healthy? Like, seriously, isn't it hard to eat healthy, especially during your work day or when you're on the go? Well, look no further than Almond RX. I brought a pack with me, a full box of them, in fact, to Boston for the Sweet 16. You can eliminate the vending machine from your day. You can get your daily dose of vitamin D. Everyone wants a healthy snack for themselves or their family. You're looking for something that's healthy, that tastes good, that curbs hunger, right? Well, look no further than Almond RX, the first and only skinless almond fortified with vitamin D, founded by a San Diego sports medicine physician. Almond RX is packed with all the nutrients and antioxidants you need and deserve. It supports your heart and your cellular health and your gut health, and has other healthy benefits as well. You can find them, Almond RX, at any Foodland in San Diego County, okay? Harvest Ranch in Encinitas, and also at almondrx.com. That is ALMOND, the letters RNX.com. And if you go there right now, you're getting free shipping on your order of $25 or more. So go to almondrx.com and get free shipping. You heard me right. On all orders of $25 or more. You're busy. You want to stay healthy. You want to curb your hunger. Almond RX curbs your hunger. It's perfect for the on-the-go lifestyle. Visit almondrx.com. All right, you're heading out of the office for the day. You're in your car. You're getting ready for this incredible sports day tomorrow involving San Diego sports teams. Before you head home, head over to Windmill Farms. Whatever you're doing tomorrow, watching, tailgating, going downtown, get ready for the action at Windmill Farms. They have everything you need. Pick up sandwiches for tonight or tomorrow at their deli with the low prices, the fresh ingredients, the huge selection. And with that sandwich card, your 8th sandwich is free. And then do all your shopping, all your grocery shopping over there with their produce and their meats and their beer and their craft beer and their kombucha. Centrally located, guys, right by Montezuma Mesa off Del Cerro Boulevard, family owned. It is such a good shopping experience. You park, you're just steps away from Windmill Farms. It's not one of those huge big box grocers either. Everyone's got a smile on their face. Trevor and his family have been serving San Diegans for 20 plus years, supporting local businesses. Even if you're not in the college area right now, go to Instacart, get your groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. Double Ad Wednesdays. That's today. You got weekly specials that are doubled right now at windmillfarmsmarket.com. So check those out at windmillfarmsmarket.com or on Instagram. But get ready for this huge sports weekend in San Diego by shopping local and shopping at Windmill Farms. Wait until you hear a fascinating quote from AJ Preller, quoted by Kevin Acey within the hour in the UT. Wait till you hear what Kevin Acey had to say to Kevin. Not Kevin. AJ Preller had to say to Kevin Acey in the UT. Not what Kevin told Kevin. We'll have that for you coming up at 5 p.m. Plus, our bold predictions for the season for the Padres. You may recall last year our bold predictions, I think, were terrible. Mine, I think, were better than yours.
Hold on. I have them right here real quick. They were god awful, John. You said that Blake Snell was going to win 15 games.
Thank you. I won.
Tatis was going to steal 30 bases.
But he stole how many?
Not 30 bases.
No, but 20, I think, right?
And Soto would have career high 35 home runs.
That wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, it was probably mine that was the worst because I said Tatis wins comeback player of the year. Jake Cronenworth's the top 10 MVP. And the Padres will finish 10 games ahead of the Dodgers.
Yeah, that was really bad. Those are just bad predictions.
So bad.
By the way, Tatis stole 29 bases last year.
Ooh, so you're almost 3 for 3 on your predictions.
Yes.
Wait
until this year.
Wasn't it 2 years ago where you said that Will Myers would have like 35 home runs and
No.
Dinelson Lamet was going to save 40 games?
No,
Yes.
but I know I didn't say that the Padres are going to finish 10 games better than the Dodgers last year.
Well, you know what, John?
All right, bold predictions coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, plus a fascinating quote from AJ Preller to Kevin Acey in the UT. But right now, let's get to this.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants, we have Corey and we have Scott. Corey, you called in first, so you have the choice of John or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
I'll go with John.
Okay, Corey and John.
All right, Corey, you get John. Scott, you get me, okay?
Cool.
All right, Brent, what is the question of the day?
Yeah, Jim actually won yesterday.
I won yesterday because I
Just because he was the only person on the show.
Yeah,
Technicalities.
still a
John.
win, John.
Right.
All right, what's the question, Brent?
All right, guys. The Aztecs are in Boston for the Sweet 16.
I can
So-
confirm.
Yes,
What?
John is actually there too.
Yeah.
Can
I
you
saw that.
name any of the top 10 scorers in Celtics history? So we're looking for the top 10 scorers in Boston Celtics history.
Total points, right?
Yes, not
All
points per game, just
All right.
points.
Got it. All right, Scott, you're up first. What is your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. Good guess.
Good guess.
Very good guess. Corey, you're up next. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
John Havlicek.
John
Ooh.
Havlicek.
He stole the ball,
Havlicek stole the ball.
and he scored points.
And he did score points. Scott, back to you. What's your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Go ahead. Yeah, lifeline.
Lifeline, Paul Pierce. Do you take that?
Yeah, Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce on the list. Corey, back to you, buddy. What is your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I will use a lifeline.
Lifeline. John.
Oh, there's a couple of greats from that Bird 80s. I'll give you like a Robert Parrish. Has to be on the list.
Do you take that, Scott? Or Corey, sorry.
Yeah, I'll go with Chief. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Chief. All righty.
And then
Boom.
back to Scott
Thank
now.
you.
Scott, your final guess. You don't have a lifeline, so this is all up to you.
Rondo.
Rajon Rondo? Ooh.
Interesting guess.
Maybe
Probably top 10
assist.
assists.
Yeah. Corey, you
Okay.
could win it right here with a walk-off. You don't have a lifeline, though, so this is all up to you. What do you got?
Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy
For the win.
on
Yes,
the list.
how
for the
about
win.
that?
Wow. All right.
Jim, you lost.
Okay. I got my lifeline correct, so I feel fine about
did.
that.
Yeah, you didn't say it like Steph Curry.
I'm like,
Victor Wembanyama.
LeBron?
Right. Who's on this list? This has got to be this is an amazing list.
Yeah.
All right, Havlicek's number 1, Paul Pierce is 2, Bird is 3, Robert Parrish is 4, Kevin McHale, hello, he's
Who?
5, Kuzi's 6, Sam Jones is 7,
Okay.
this Bill Russell guy, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's number
Good
8,
name.
Dave Collins
him.
was 9, and then JoJo White was number 10.
That's a
Yeah,
list.
that is an incredible top 10. That is an incredible
Well,
top
considering
10.
at least
So
like 8 out of the 10 are in the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
yeah,
pretty good.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations. A pair of tickets to see Social Distortion, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. This is April 12th. Special guest Bad Religion as well. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Again, Ticketmaster.com. Where would Boston rank among arenas you'd like to see an NBA game in?
Considering every single arena has like the same dimensions as the court, like it doesn't really. I don't really care about
20 years ago when they played in the Garden,
Right, the actual
like the actual garden.
the actual Garden, I'd put that in there. But now it's just like it's
Every
just another arena.
Every basketball arena, like in the NBA, it feels the same to me. Like when I went
Not
to
me.
crypto
MSG.
and Oracle.
Well, yeah, Madison Square Garden's the exception because that's Madison Square Garden. But the
It's
other
crazy.
30
I don't know, man. Yeah.
arenas in the league are just kind of.
Okay,
I'm with Jim.
no big
Base-
deal. TD Garden, just another arena.
Baseball's the one sport, and maybe you could say football too, but like they have the same dimensions in the field. Like baseball's the only sport to me where you're like, oh, stadiums.
Well, in football, they have something that's different. The NBA, there's nothing really different. You know, you could go to Tampa and they got the big pirate ship in the end zone.
But it's still
and-
the same dimension on the field.
but
100
yeah,
yards.
but they have
like,
something that
yeah,
makes
outside.
them stand out from
Right.
the other arenas, unlike basketball doesn't.
Baseball though.
Maybe they should change that. Maybe some basketball arena should have like a longer floor and like some should have a 4-point shot. And
Like,
some
oh, the
football field
corners-
should be 131 yards.
Right. That'd be cool. That's why baseball is such a
kinda
weird
cool.
sport, how every single
So
stadium
weird.
has different dimensions. The only sport
So
in,
weird.
in the world.
Nah, I don't think that's accurate.
Huh?
Okay,
Is it
I'll
not?
give you one right off the top of my head to completely disprove your
Do
theory.
it
which
right
is
now.
Soccer.
Do it.
Soccer has always played at different dimensions. Okay,
Always?
on the other side, what?
Never mind.
Soccer, like the field is either really wide or not as wide all over the world,
But like,
including in the U.S.
okay, fine, whatever.
On the other side, wait until you hear these quotes from AJ Preller, about to begin his 10th year as Padres general manager. Plus, our bold predictions for the Padres 2024 season to kick off hour 3 of Jon and Jim next. All right, imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free, no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly with Loan Pronto's AI-based system. You can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home, and you can use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner is saving over $850 a month doing this, which is a ton of money. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips. And approval is minutes, just minutes away. Call right now or write this number down. 619-207-4336. That's 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. Again, 619-207-4336, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender. All right, let's make dinner time easy. You're heading out of work. It's dinner. You're hungry. Swing by Windmill Farms on your way home and pick up dinner for tonight and all your groceries that you need for that epic sports day tomorrow in San Diego. They've got everything you need, including over at their deli with the sandwich card. Your 8th sandwich is free. you have to see the selection of sandwiches. It's incredible. Everything you could possibly want. They've got fresh ingredients, high quality, and they pride themselves on really keeping those prices low. Grocery needs, whatever you need, they've got it, okay? It's the produce and the meats, organic and fresh, the beer, the craft beer, the kombucha. They have everything that you need for tonight, for tomorrow, with all the baseball and the basketball going on. They're right by Montezuma Mesa, family-owned, so easy to get in and out of. Everyone's got a smile on their face when you walk in. It's an enjoyable shopping and grocery experience. They've been serving San Diegans for 20-plus years, Trevor and his family. They support local businesses. You don't have to be in the college area, by the way. You can find them on Instacart. They'll deliver your groceries right to your doorstep. You can also visit windmillfarmsmarket.com. Right there, right now, they have weekly specials for you, double ad Wednesdays as well. So check them out at windmillfarmsmarket.com or on Instagram. But as you head home, a reminder to shop local. Shop at Windmill Farms.
This update is brought to you by Staples Stores. News in the National League West. The Arizona Diamondbacks last night, they signed Jordan Montgomery to a one-year, $25 million deal. There is an option on that deal. It vests after a certain amount of starts that he makes this year. Moving over to the Padres, opening day for them at Petco Park tomorrow afternoon, 1:10, first pitch. Yu Darvish, Logan Webb, Giants, Padres. Of course, we're having a watch party down at the Blind Burrow starting at 10 a.m. Come on down and join us. 4 p.m. is when our Aztecs pregame coverage starts. 4:40 tip-off time as the Aztecs take on UConn in a rematch of last year's national championship game. Listen to that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of Jon and Jim. A reminder, join us tomorrow downtown, Blind Burrow, opening day. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch will broadcast from San Diego Sports 760 from 6 to 10. Then Darren Smith show from 10 to 1 at the Blind Burrow. Then join Jim during the Padres game. He's got prizes and giveaways from 1 to 4. We'll be broadcasting live as well. And then our pregame coverage, the countdown to tip-off right here from Boston, beginning at 4 p.m. Tip-off with Ted Leitner on the calls at 4:39 tomorrow. We have you covered all day long on San Diego Sports 760. Our Padres bold predictions are coming up at some point in the next 30 minutes, so be listening for that. I just sent you this article that Kevin posted within the last, I'd say, 30 minutes. And it is a lengthy, I'm making up the amount of words, but it's in the neighborhood of 3,000 words. Okay, it's a long piece.
Yeah.
All of the words are written. All of the words he wrote. My takeaway is this quote, and I want to get your reaction to it and our listeners. 70470, start it with team. Is this a fair comp for A.J. Preller, who's entering his 10th season to make? This is what he told Kevin in the UT at this hour. That's the biggest thing we talk about all the time is you look at the 49ers, the Patriots, the Warriors. These were not perennial superstar franchises until the ownership group, some phenomenal players and phenomenal coaches got together and did what they had to do to get them there. You can win anywhere and you can create an amazing product. You have to have great players. On its face, Jim, I would say fair until you consider it's his 10th season and the ownership group is not a new one. So I think you're going a little far in making any type of comp to some of the greatest sports franchises in American sports today and associating to what A.J. Preller has done in his tenure. Not to say it's been a complete failure. But to make any type of comp in year 10 to those franchises around American professional sports, to me, is a little egregious.
I'll agree with him on like the point he's trying to make that, yes, if you have the right owner, you get the right players, you have the right manager or coach, and you have the right general manager, then yes, you can win anywhere. It's you can do it. You can win in Miami. You can win in Baltimore. You can, like, they just got a new owner today, approved. You can win in Pittsburgh, right? But you have to have those things, the owner, the general manager, and the coach. And then you have to have that like star player that completely transforms your franchise to a point of like, just he's the ultimate leader. Everyone looks to him or her, right, as the face of the franchise, and that player transforms everything. You need to have those four things: the star player, the GM, the coach, and the owner. Like you said, unfortunately, Peter Seidler's not with us anymore. Okay. They had the owner, but he's not here. They're going through mass changes, and who knows, like, what happens in 5 years? Maybe this team's sold. I don't know. Like, it's going to be completely different. The general manager, like you said, it's been 10 years. Hasn't gotten it done yet. They just changed the manager. I like Mike Schilt, but we'll see. And the star player, Manny Machado, it's a lot of hot and cold each year. Like, there's not a really constant through line with him. Yes, he does post, but it feels like it's the valley. Like, it's 1 year it's up, next year it's down. 1 year it's up, next year it's down. And you can't have that if you want to consistently maintain excellence and greatness, like he's mentioning here with the 49ers of the 80s and 90s, the Patriots with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and the Warriors with Steph Curry and Steve Kerr.
I'll give you a spot on, but I'll take it a step further. And I'll steal something that John Fanta put on social media earlier today, our buddy who covers college basketball.
Is he our associate producer?
He is. But Darnay is our true producer because Darnay gets paid all the money of nothing.
Nothing.
And Fanta doesn't make that much working for us. And thank you, Darnay. But Fanta, okay, so there was something, I think Bob Huggins, right, the former head coach at Cincinnati and West Virginia, right? And he was like fired unceremoniously. Remember, like he was like, who even knows how it ended? Remember, he was like drunk on the radio saying all these things he shouldn't have been saying, and he got fired eventually.
Yeah.
So he said today, Bob Huggins, hey, I want to be considered for the Kentucky and Louisville job. Something along, at least the Louisville job. They've already, since then, they've hired someone. He's like, I want to be considered for the Louisville job, or I think I'm the right fit. And then John Fanta quote tweeted it and said, and I want to be on the cover of GQ. Right. Yeah, it's easy. I want to lift 225 pounds when I bench. I can. Can
you lift 5 pounds?
I can lift 5 pounds. So, yeah, and it's like, I guess what I'm saying is it's easy to say, look at the Niners, the Patriots, and the Warriors. It's another thing to replicate. There's a reason there aren't a lot of examples. Even the Niners, I hate to bring this up, Jim, even the Niners, as successful as they are, and they are, I'm not here to criticize, but even as successful as they are, have had a long time between championships. And I'm saying they're a very successful franchise.
Well, I think he's talking about
the Padres aren't at that point. The Padres aren't getting to the World Series every year and not winning it.
I think he was
the Niners have done that.
I think he was referring to the Niners of the 80s with the Bill Walsh and the Joe Montana and the Eddie DeBartolo.
Well, then even worse. It would be my point.
Yeah. And then the same with the Patriots with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft. Like, you have to have, all the pieces in place for a prolonged period of time. And that's like, I was naive enough to think that after 2022 that we were starting to see it. We were starting to, and it felt that way. It felt that way with Bob Melvin, and then you had Manny Machado, Peter Seidler, Eric Grupner, and AJ Preller. Like, it felt after the 2022 season, all right, this team finally has the potential pieces to become maybe like what AJ Preller is speaking about with the Niners and the Warriors and the Patriots. Now, again, you have to win a title in order to be put in that category, and you have to have like prolonged success in order to be even mentioned in the same breath as those three franchises during their heyday. But it felt like they had it in place, and then all hell broke loose. And then, the manager and the owner, or the manager and the general manager, guess what? They can't get along. Shocker. Unfortunately, everything that happened with Peter, that's out of everyone's control. And then, Manny last year and kind of the things that were said, and he had a down year, and then You get rid of Bob Melvin. It's like it feels like they're starting over again to get to that point, right?
Yes. Well, then let me ask you this. Like, to your earlier point, like, did the Niners of the 80s have a coaching change or egregious contracts? Did the Warriors in this run have an ownership or coaching change or sign a player late in his career to a long-term deal that hindered the ability for the team to win? We could argue maybe now, but I mean, they've already won so much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not against that. And then, like, same thing with the Patriots. Like, they didn't work against themselves.
No.
Now, I always will credit Peter Sadler for his desire to win and putting his pocketbook, putting it out there. Like, not just saying it, but actually doing it. But you could absolutely argue that they've been hindered in their future abilities to win. I mean, just look at this offseason. It's been so quiet. Thankfully, they acquired Dylan Cease, but they're clearly up against it from a payroll perspective. It seemed like the Warriors has been willing to do it at whatever cost. They'll go over, CBT thresholds or whatever it is in the NBA. The Patriots, with their quarterback taking less to stay, I don't think you can really equate. Now, again, maybe things change. But again, you're in a division with the Dodgers. I mean, it's just, again, easy for me to say, I want to, be a male model. Well, that's not a good one. Easy to say, another thing to actually act on, I guess, is the point.
Yeah. It's the dream. You want to be those types of franchises where you're stable everywhere and you win a lot. But unfortunately, the Padres aren't even close to that. Truthfully, I do feel encouraged about this season. There's definitely a different vibe going into the season. Coming out of last year, I thought that coming out of last year, this season could be troublesome, but it does feel like better going into this year. Coming out of the last offseason. But truthfully, they're not even remotely close to any of the franchises that AJ Preller listed there. Not even close. And they have a chance to, but it has to start now, and it has to be like 4 or 5 years of like continued winning. And like, you have to win a championship. You have to win a World Series. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, like 619 says, 70470 started with team. He says, so all dynasties have a time limit on GM tenure. And I don't exactly know the point other than to say all dynasties won within their first 10 years. There was correct me if I'm wrong. Like, it's not like Tom Brady got there and 10 years in they won, or Steph Curry got there and 10 years in they won, or Joe Montana got there and 10 years in they won, or Andy Reid got there and 10 years in they won. That doesn't exist unless I'm missing something.
You don't, in almost every sport, you don't get 10 years before you're given you don't get 10 years. You have to win pretty quickly. And if you name me another GM that's been given 10 years without winning jack, what, it doesn't happen. And so with the Niners of the 80s, like AJ Preller is referring to, when Bill Walsh got there, they sucked their first year. They sucked. They're horrible. And then they got Joe Montana, and they had Eddie DeBartolo, who wanted to win at all costs. And they built, and I think within a couple of years, they're in a Super Bowl, and they, go on their run. Same thing with the Patriots. First couple of years there, it wasn't good with Bill Belichick. And then they drafted Tom Brady, and the following year, they won a Super Bowl. And then the rest is history. The thing with the Warriors, it took a little bit with Steph.
It took a few years. Yeah.
It took about 5 years. But guess what? We cleaned house because they weren't getting it done. And they changed the general manager, and they changed the head coach, and they drafted well, and then they went on their run. But that's because they didn't give like their general manager and coach that wasn't getting it done time to potentially get it done over a 10-year span. Like they realized, hey, this is not working. And with AJ Preller, it's felt like, hey, it's not working for 10 years, and he's still given an opportunity. So that's the difference between this whole thing and what he's mentioning and talking about.
Yeah. And again, this is honestly, it's not to pile on Preller. It's the start of the year.
It's not. Yeah.
Hope springs eternal. But when I see, like, you didn't need to go down that path, is what I would say if you're AJ Preller with Kevin Acee. I understand the aspirational element. We all want to do a better job. We all have aspirations, but like he's had an opportunity. And to this point, it hasn't worked out. And unfortunately, there's obstacles. The LA Dodgers exist. The Atlanta Braves exist. Their payroll issues exist. The ownership change, unfortunately, because of the untimely passing of Peter Seidler, has occurred. So you are running uphill. Not all organizations are like that. Now, of course, you can overcome that. There's a lot of examples of teams overcoming things and dealing with adversity. I don't think the Padres are the first organization I would mention in that type of conversation. But, again, I think if I'm AJ Preller, this year is more about getting my team in the postseason, bouncing back from disappointment, and securing my future as the general manager of the club. That to me is what 2024 is about. It's not about the beginning of a dynasty. I mean, we'd all love to see it, but that's not my thought process coming off last year. Like, this is the beginning of the dynasty. That's little far-fetched.
Can we walk before we sprint? I mean, I know the agenda this spring training was to try to do as much positive PR as possible to try to wipe away the disgust and embarrassment of last season. I get that. But you can't just forget about last season. You gotta make sure that you remember it, and those things don't happen again. And it's great. Positivity, that's great. But you're still dealing with no left fielder, a 20-year-old in center field. You have no DH once Manny gets back to third base. Your bench sucks. Like, you're still dealing with some problems here. The owner situation is going to be a big storyline heading into the future of this franchise. That's just, I don't know, make the postseason this year and then win. And then we can start talking about building on that and creating something special here. When you just came off of the most embarrassing, dysfunctional, disappointing year in the history of the franchise.
I love how when you say that, I like it. When you go, they don't have a left fielder, I always envision it's going to be home opener.
No one's there.
That'll do it. Fly out to no, there's no one there.
It just falls.
I always think of that part in Bad News Bears when they're one player short. It's like, no, it's okay. We'll have Smith. He'll just play left center, and then we'll have Carter play right center, and it'll be okay.
Dude.
Oh no, the ball fell in. There's no one there.
Oh no, why didn't he catch it?
This is the weirdest shift we've ever seen. The left fielder is shifted out of the stadium.
Dude.
But I do like what you said. I think the walk before you run is what I would like to see in 2024. Again, everyone wants to see them get to a World Series or win it. Sure. But based on what we saw last year, and I'm still seeing this, Jim, and I know you are as well, as we approach opening day, and I see people on social media, and I watch these conversations back and forth, and I see the blame game being thrown around. Oh, Soto, you got to remember what Soto did or didn't do, and remember how Hader wasn't willing to get a 4-out save, and Blake Snell hasn't been good in Aprils. Guys, you're really bending it to put the onus of last year, to put the disappointment on your best position player, your best pitcher, your best reliever. Not to say they were perfect. They may have been flawed. The manager who has been successful, and to put it on them as the reason why, I just don't think is fair. I really don't. Now, we'll see if it plays out or not. But to say those are the reasons why the Padres didn't win, again, for me, is going too far.
Our favorite 360 number that apparently doesn't listen to us or listens to us too much. And I don't know. It says, walk before we sprint. You're the one complaining about a quiet offseason.
Yeah.
Bro, you're not understanding what we're saying.
Right.
It's simple as that.
What are you missing? We could not be more clear over the last 18 minutes of what we said.
Anyway, yeah.
It all starts really in we said this the other day. We were encouraged by the 1-1 start. And I'm being honest when I say that. I thought they did good things for 2 games. Yeah. And just like I would have told you, if they didn't do good things for 2 games, okay, it's 2 games. And if they were great for 2 games, it's 2 games.
And I'm predicting this team wins 86 games this year.
Which is a good year.
It's a good year. I think it's a fair prediction. I think if I came on the radio and I was like, 93 wins, people are like, what are you trying to be a homer? Be real. So 86. I think 86 is a real, I'm factoring in that it's obviously the biggest if of all, health. But if that is to stay maintain, then I think this team it can win 86 games.
I don't know what have I been saying 85?
I think you've said 85, 86, something like that.
Yeah, 85, 86. I mean, shoot, the projection sites, and again, not that like they're right. They've been wrong a lot, but we're higher than those sites, which are saying they were saying 80. Then there's, what do they say now? 83,
83-ish, 83, 84.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're saying that they have a chance to be better than what is projected to occur on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And 85 wins could get you in the postseason. 86 absolutely could get you in the postseason as well. So that if they win 86 games, they're 10 games over 500. They've had a nice year and they've overcome a lot to get there. So let's see if they can do it.
619 number says Mike Rizzo won after 11 seasons with the Nationals. I don't know if that's true or not. Not a dynasty.
That's great, but they were in the postseason like every year and they lost the first round like every year.
Yeah. That's the big difference here. They have
Padres have not been in the postseason every year.
2 years in Preller's history.
2 times, and one of them, 16 teams made the playoffs.
Right.
All right. On the other side, our Padres bold predictions. Jim's back page is still ahead as well. Stay with us. Well, hold on 1 second here. Do we have a caller? Does Larry want to weigh in? Do we have 60 seconds, Brett? All right. Let's take Larry. Larry, thanks for calling in, man. You're on with Jon and Jim.
Hey, fellas. Thanks. Hey, really quick, regarding the Aztecs, you know what? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yes.
I look back when the Chargers really went and they became big. They had to be the Steelers. They were the Super Bowl champions, and we didn't have a chance, and then we beat their asses. So you know what? Go Aztecs. And this whole Padre debacle, it's all Preller, man. Shut up and let them play ball. And Preller, you suck. Later.
Wow. So, okay.
Thanks, Larry.
So Larry does not see Preller beginning the Patriots dynasty in 2024.
Apparently not.
Or the Cashman Yankees.
Right. I don't think he does see that. He did not
Maybe
sound like he was.
2025.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that starts in 2025. Good stuff, Larry.
Thanks,
you.
Larry.
All right. Bold Padres predictions on the other side. Jim's back page still ahead. Getting you ready for the Sweet 16 from Boston as well. Stay with us on Jon and Jim. Dinner time is calling. You're hungry. You're on your way home. You're getting ready for this huge sports day in San Diego tomorrow with the baseball and the basketball. Swing by Windmill Farms right now, the college area's natural grocer. They've got everything you need, including dinner for tonight and all your game day and tailgating needs for tomorrow as well. Get to their deli. You got to see it. The huge selection of sandwiches, your 8th sandwich free with the sandwich card, the high-quality fresh ingredients, the low prices. They pride themselves on their pricing. They really do. And then they've got all your shopping and grocery needs. And it's a great shopping experience because it's family owned and everyone has a smile on their face and it's easy to get in and out of. And it's not a big box grocer. And they've got your produce and your meats and it's fresh and it's organic. And they have all the beer you need, and the kombucha and the craft beers and everything you could possibly imagine. Centrally located off Del Cerro Boulevard, right across from Montezuma Mesa. Family-owned, serving San Diegans for 20 years, working with San Diego businesses for 20-plus years. And they've got weekly specials for you, especially on Wednesday when you can double the savings from last week's ads to the upcoming week's ads as well. Check them out on Instagram or at windmillfarmsmarket.com. Tonight, you're hungry for dinner. Tomorrow, you've got all kinds of game day and tailgating needs with baseball and basketball. We remind you to shop local, shop at Windmill Farms. All right, you're busy in all likelihood, right? You got a family, you have kids, you're working, you're going from appointment to appointment, meeting to meeting, and you're trying to eat healthy as well over the course of your day, right? Not eat junk food, eliminate that vending machine, all the snacking. You can do that with Almond RX. It is simple, it is easy. You're getting your daily dose of vitamin D, you're curbing hunger. It's a healthy snack that you, your family, your children are all going to enjoy. My wife loves it. My son, my 5-year-old Jones, loves them as well. If you're looking for something healthy and tasty that curbs hunger, Almond RX is the answer. It's the first and only skinless almond fortified with vitamin D, founded by a San Diego sports medicine physician. That's right, San Diego sports medicine physician. Almond RX is packed with a powerhouse of nutrients supporting heart health, cellular health, and gut health. You can find Almond RX at any Foodland in San Diego County, Harvest Ranch in Encinitas, and also at almondrx.com. That's ALMONDRX.com. If you go there right now, you are getting free shipping on your order of $25 or more at almondrx.com. So curb hunger. It's perfect for the on-the-go lifestyle. Free shipping right now at almondrx.com.
This update is brought to you by Staples Stores. New arm in the National League West as Jordan Montgomery signed a 1-year, $25 million deal last night with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Padres, their home opener is tomorrow afternoon versus the Giants, 1:10 first pitch. Of course, we'll be at the Blind Burrow at 1 p.m. for our special watch party. So come on and join me there. Yu Darvish and Logan Webb will be on the mound for the Padres and Giants. And immediately following that game will be our pregame show for the Aztecs as they take on UConn. 4:40 tip-off time there. You can listen to that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
Boston, where it has gotten dark because it's 3 hours later here than it is in San Diego.
Wow, cool update.
So there's your Boston update, where it's also, guess what? It's colder in Boston than it is in San Diego.
Wow, shocker.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah, wait, somewhere on the East Coast is colder than San Diego this time of the year? Wow.
Are you gonna come
let's see,
back next
Boston.
week and have the Boston accent? We park the car.
Yeah.
Rod.
Yeah, the players are loving that, by the way. It's 44 and raining right now in Boston.
Okay. Is it going to affect tomorrow's game?
No, they're playing inside.
Oh!
You know, John, it was 65 today, and there's a couple clouds, so we can
Little
relate. Yeah, it was a little chilly today. Relate.
Well, luckily, this will not be played on an aircraft carrier. It'll be in the TV
Could you imagine? Like, we're going to play the Sweet 16 game rematch of the national title game. Aircraft carrier outside of Boston. Yeah.
Free kick coverage, 439. Headlighter off all point. Darren Fisher, Jon Jim, from the Blind Borough tomorrow, opening day for the Padres. We have Jim's back page coming up in about 15 minutes. Right now, let's make are we all making bold predictions? Is Brent on board for this? Brent, you have predictions as well? Okay.
Brent has predictions. I have predictions.
Why don't we
Do you
start
have
with
predictions?
Brent? We'll go Brent, Jim, John, one at a time through 3 rounds.
Okay. These now when we say
No,
bold,
hold on. Brent starts.
No. Let me just, I'm not going to say it. I'm just saying when we say bold predictions, do we have to make it like some crazy bold predictions, or should we just call it Padres predictions? Because I feel like some of these predictions are like, yeah, that could
You
happen.
can go either or.
Like bold predictions is like Tatis is going to have 75 home runs.
No, that's crazy prediction.
So we'll just say predictions for the season.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, middle-ish.
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Okay.
You're up first, Brent.
Well, you're kind of hitting on it. I think Tatis hits 40 home runs this year.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not
crazy.
No, because he's
No, I
done
don't
it
think
before in
it's
his
that crazy.
career.
Yep.
So
Bounce back here.
Okay. 40 home runs. That'd be fantastic if he hit 40 home runs for this Padres team. Do you want me to go next, John?
That's my most positive one, by the way.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sticking with Fernando Tatis Jr., I think he'll have a 30-30 season.
Okay. That'd be yeah, it's impressive. Again, he's stolen 30 bases before, hasn't he, in a season or not? He had 29 last year. So he's been close. Okay,
no,
so he's
the year
29.
year he hit 40, he was not allowed to steal any bases because of his shoulder.
Tatis
You
rules.
think with the
So
new base
honestly,
stealing rules, he should get 50?
But saying he's going to have a 30-30 year, he had a 30-29 year last year.
Fine, he'll have a 40-40 season. There you go.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. I'm changing it. 40-40, baby. Boom.
All right, I'll give you one. After I saw Machado hit that ball 600 feet at like 8 a.m. the other day in Korea, I'll say Machado hits a career high in home runs, which I think is 37 right now. So I'll predict 38 home runs. 38 home runs for Manny Machado in 2024. He's got one already.
That'd be very nice.
Brent, you're up.
Brent?
The Padres are going to have a winning record at home this year.
Winning record? It's not overly bold, Brent, is it?
It's like it's just a normal thing.
They didn't last year. They went 38-43.
Is that right?
Yeah, they had a losing record at Petco.
Okay, then I like it. Okay, that's good.
Oh no, wait, no, they didn't. They were 44. I looked at the wrong one. They were 44-37.
Oh, Brent.
They can be better.
Okay, 45 plus wins.
How about this? How like a 600 win percentage at home?
Yeah.
Okay. You want that's a pretty boldish prediction, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, next, Michael King will have 200 plus strikeouts this year.
Michael King?
Michael King, John.
How many did he have last year?
Not 200.
Well, no, he only threw 100 innings.
I know.
Did he have 100? 127.
In 100 innings, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going 200 plus strikeouts for Michael King.
All right, then I'll up my number for Dylan Cease. I'll say he'll have a career high in strikeouts. I think right now he's 227 is his career high.
So career high for wow, okay.
For Dylan Cease. I'm saying Dylan Cease.
Okay.
I'll say career high in strikeouts for Dylan Cease in his first season as a Padre. I'll say more than 227 strikeouts for Dylan Cease this year.
Okay. Brent?
I don't think the Padres will have a closing pitcher with 20 saves.
So no one will record 20 saves for the Padres this year.
No, because I think they're going to go closer by committee. So I don't think they'll have any individual closer with 20 saves. I think it's going to be a group thing this year.
That would not be good.
Yeah.
All
right. No one with 20.
We didn't say they're good predictions. We just said they were predictions. Yes.
Okay.
Finally, the Padres will finish in second place in the NL West.
Second place. Will that be enough to make the postseason?
That to me is enough for the postseason. You finished in second place in potentially the best division in baseball. Potentially, we'll see how it plays out. You're making the postseason, and if it's and like I said, 86 wins, they could finish second place with 86 wins. But to me, I think 86 wins gets it done, gets you in the postseason, and I'll say it's the second best record in the NL West this year.
Okay, I will. This is pretty bold.
What is it?
I say Jackson Merrill steals 30 bases this year. Now, in the minors last year, I mean, he's not stealing 30 bases this year because he stole 15 bases in the minors last year. So that would be a big number, I think. But it doesn't mean he's going to hit to steal 30 bases is my point. I think he could be an everyday contributor. I think he can be in their lineup, and I think he can play.
Give me like 15 home runs. 15 home runs for Jackson Merrill?
No, I'm going to no, I want to stick with I'm going to say 25 stolen bases for Jackson Merrill. 25 stolen bases for Jackson Merrill.
Okay.
It's a big number, but they need to run. They need to run a lot more than they have been.
Yeah, they do. You need to see a lot of running from Hassan Kim, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Guys like Merrill who are young.
So basically, we're saying that Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to have like a Ronald Acuna season this year.
No, I don't think
so.
Well,
me and Brent are.
Yeah.
40 home runs is not an Acuna season. Acuna
almost like an Acuna season. Acuna had like 70 stolen bases and 40 plus home runs.
Right.
Are you surprised they didn't steal more last year to where just with the new rules to where this year you think they might just let loose a little more?
Bob Melvin's fault.
Well, everything's Bob Melvin's fault, Jim. We know that.
Bob Melvin's fault for not sending the runners more.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Those are our bold predictions. Keep those in a document somewhere, Jim. We can rehash.
Make fun of ourselves
like
later
weeks.
in the season.
Yeah.
Just put it in the back page part of the rundown. That never gets changed. So it'll still be in there next year.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. On the other side, we will get to Jim's back page. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. All right, I know you're thinking about dinner for tonight. I know you're excited about tomorrow with all the baseball and basketball college hoops going on. Swing by Windmill Farms. They've got everything you need for dinner tonight, for your game day and tailgating needs tomorrow, all your viewing needs tomorrow with all the games on. Windmill Farms has you covered. I've been telling you about it for weeks and months and all day today. Deli, I go there every single week. In addition to the deli, I pick up salads and sandwiches all the time that are already prepared and fresh. The deli, though, has everything you could possibly want. They have the sandwich card, which means your 8th sandwich is free. They have fresh ingredients. They have low prices. They really pride themselves as a family-owned business on keeping their prices low. Trevor and his family serving San Diegans and working with San Diego businesses for years and years and years, right by Montezuma Mesa. Okay, easy to get in and out of. And again, it's family-owned. Everyone's got a smile on their face. It's a great shopping experience. It's not that big box experience that you get from other grocers. It's just not. And again, even if you don't live in the college area, you can find them on Instacart. If you've never used Instacart, it could not be easier. You can have your groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. On Wednesdays, they call them double ad days. You're going to get double the savings from last week's ads and the upcoming week's ads as well. You can check them out on Instagram, also at windmillfarmsmarket.com for those weekly specials. Windmillfarmsmarket.com as you get ready for tonight, your dinner, tomorrow with the tailgating and the game day. Make sure to shop local and shop at Windmill Farms. All right, hey guys, it's Schaefer. We've been talking about this sensational, spectacular, epic sports day tomorrow with baseball and college hoops. A San Diego sports day really for the ages, and you can watch it all over at Novo Brazil Brewing. Wherever you are, they have you covered with an area spot, whether it's Otay Ranch with the massive LED screens, the immersive sports viewing experience in their brand new fresh spot in Mission Valley, their IB location as well. And they're proud supporters of the Mesa Foundation Collective. That's benefiting San Diego State men's and women's basketball players. They've got the co-branded Aztec Raspberry Kombucha, taste tested by Aztec legends, Lamont Butler and Jaden Ledee and Micah Parrish. And every time you pick that up, you're supporting San Diego State student athletes through the Mesa Foundation Collective. You need to get to Mission Valley, specifically tomorrow or this weekend. 350-seat restaurant, indoor, outdoor, with a full bar menu, 60 taps of Novo Brazil beer. They have the kombucha we've been telling you about. And it's great for the whole family as well because of all the screens and the food. Sandwiches and salads, tacos and burgers, empanadas, appetizers. I love their food, and you will as well. They have Brazilian-inspired entrees as well. So get to IB, Otay Ranch, Mission Valley, and for more information, visit novobrew.com. That's N-O-V-O brew.com. A final time on John and Jim today, Jim. It's the last time we're going to connect today. Well, actually, we'll do a wrap-up show tonight.
Right, the wrap-up show tonight, but on radio, it's the final time of the week for us.
I know. And you're in San Diego. You'll be at opening day tomorrow. Join Jim from the Blind Burrow, Darren Smith Show. We're there all day. I'll be in Boston. Pregame coverage at 4. Sweet 16 action. San Diego State, the University of Connecticut. Just those two programs. Just the teams that met in the national championship last year. Just that game.
Just like a regular game.
Yeah.
That no one will watch.
Just opening day or home opener. Sweet 16.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not like one of the coolest days in San Diego in a while. It's pretty just whatever.
All right, let's just get to your back page.
So it's March 27th. What is in a couple days?
March 28th or March 29th?
That's what I was going to say.
What I meant is like in a handful of days. Like we are close to what
Final
day
four?
on the count? No.
April Fool's Day.
Correct. And with April Fool's Day right around the corner, this story that I'm about to read, it sounds like this is a typical April Fool's Day joke. And if it's not, then we got some problems. So 7-Eleven announced a new flavor of sparkling water that will be released in stores soon. The flavor of the sparkling water, hot dog.
Dude, that's what I was going to say.
Come on.
Hot
is it
dog.
Real or April Fool's?
That's the thing.
Fake.
It's got to be fake, but they are throwing it out there and kind of marketing as it's like this thing they're going to release in stores is this new hot dog flavored sparkling water. Now it's not official, obviously, but I mean, come on. They even like put out a picture and it said Big Bite, hot dog, sparkling water. And I'm like, dude, it says right here, the Big Bite hot dog sparkling water combines the delicious and mouth-watering experience of 7-Eleven's iconic Big Bite hot dog into one refreshing beverage. Ketchup and mustard is included. Gone are the days of alternating bites of a hot dog with sips of a beverage. Now those can go, you can go swap the bun for bubbles.
Oh, so it's not a normal hot dog. It's a 7-Eleven hot dog that's been on the rotator for like 3 days.
Rollers.
Yeah.
That sounds disgusting, and I hope it's a joke.
It will be a joke.
Okay.
It has to be a joke. Because
we'll have one ready for you when you get back on Monday.
Yeah, it says, even with all these pictures, this can't be real, right? Well, the 3 fruit-flavored sparkling waters are already available at select stores. Meanwhile, 7-Eleven says more details on the availability of its hot dog drink will be revealed on April 1st.
April 1st, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's if it's not a joke, it needs to be a joke because that's ridiculous. Okay, so comic books, John, they sell for a lot of money, especially if you have like old comic books that are in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Well, this specific comic book, Action Comics #1, the first appearance of Superman.
Yeah.
It's one of the most iconic, maybe the most iconic comic book out there. Not many in the world are, I guess, still around. And if they still are around, they're not in great condition. Well, this specific comic book, the Action Comics #1, first appearance of Superman, got graded at an 8.5 out of 10. It is the highest graded comic book of this kind ever. There's nothing better. This is the best one. And it is selling at an auction that will be ending on, I think, April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how much it's at right now?
$1 million.
I'm going to say 2 because Nick Cage bought a copy of that like 10 years ago for $1 million. So I'm going to say 2.
Try 4.4 million.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It would be, and when it sells, it will become the most expensive comic book ever sold in the history of the world.
I have 2 of those.
Dude, imagine if you did, and then you just like threw them away.
No, Joe.
It's like, Dad, look at this. It's like, oh, that's cool. You make a collage out of it. Oh man, that'd be so bad.
All right, that's it for Backstage. Right here, music.
Yeah,
I can't believe the show is over. Big day tomorrow. Join us beginning at 6 a.m. on San Diego Sports 760. If you missed anything today, sports15.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Keep it here. Join us tomorrow morning right here on San Diego Sports 760. Okay.
Okay, peace out. Bye. See you tomorrow.
Okay.